Um, hey, and welcome to bunch of fun. Um, this is just going to be a fun stream. Basically, in short, what I'm going to do is it's going to. You may have seen the Action guys do this at one stage. Class Action did it. This has looked fun. I'm going to do it here. I thought, well, why not? We'll do it here too. Um, uh, I found this tier ranking which has a bunch of movie franchises on it. And so we're going to and then majority rules. But the panel that jumped in, I've got down below. I've got Richard Schwartz. Richard, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was kind of a last minute addition, but whenever I hear something about fun and just for fun, Mr. Carefree is always here to hop in.
Also here we've got Anthony. His wife's not there, but Anthony's here. But
she was here for a minute and then went to bed because it's time for work, so she has to wake up. I'm doing good. I was also a very last minute. I'm pretty sure I answered at 8:59 before this 9 o'clock stream, but this looks fun. I saw some of the movies and
chicken wing,
arguing with Jay.
Chilling with my homies.
I don't know what's happening. We've already lost track.
What's up? We're live.
But also here we've got the hottest new TikTok artist. His TikTok really be blowing up. We've got Doug. Doug, how's it going?
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna. Chilling with my homies. What's up, everybody? On this special episode of Mukbang, we are having pumpkin roll.
What
roll?
But and last but not least, we've got Jay. Jay, how's it going?
Oh my god, I am on like day 2 of no cigarettes. I'm vaping, so I'm a little bit of an asshole, more than I normally am. But I'm ready to shit on your guys' opinions, and now I want some pumpkin rolls. And some chicken wings.
What about hot dog and bologna?
No!
But anyway, I'm going to bring up the thing. But yeah, so I do have a rank for non-rating because I'll explain. The first one is this random picture of James Bond, Captain America, and Batman, which I'm pretty sure was a stock picture they threw in here for some reason. They included Avatar as a franchise when it's not a franchise yet. The other 4 movies are apparently being filmed, but the reason The Hobbit's here is because they're going to, with Lord of the Rings, I'm going to have just the Middle-earth franchise as a whole, as opposed to just them separately. And then they put Walt Disney Animation Studios, which is not technically a franchise; it's just a film studio. But yeah,
It's more of a country than a franchise.
I gotta disagree on that because I would place The Hobbit way lower than I would place The Lord of the Rings.
I'd place them.
If you want to do them separately, I can drag The Hobbit back out.
Sure, let's do it.
My opinion will stay the same.
And actually, we'll start off with The Hobbit. Doug, whereabouts would you put The Hobbit? S, A, or B to E?
I put it at C.
I
will be right back.
Jay, whereabouts would you put The Hobbit?
See, this is the real difficult part about it because I really like the first one. The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey is actually a really good movie. But one good movie in a trilogy does not a good trilogy make. I'd have to put it in D. There are funny moments in the other 2 movies, Desolation of Smaug, and I'm pretty sure that I laughed my ass off through the Battle of the Five Armies, but that's just because I couldn't believe they made a 3rd fucking movie. Yeah, D easily D minus, almost E. Definitely worth a rating because you can't not rate it, but not good.
Yeah, Anthony, whereabouts would you put The Hobbit?
I'm throwing those boring ass movies all the way in the bottom. E. They are awful. They're bad.
You're a terrible human being.
I'm not arguing that. But
Richard, whereabouts would you put
I really like. I'm with Jay. I really like the first one. If it was just the first movie and the last movie, it would probably be higher. But I would also say D, just because like the other two movies are just like it was just dragging on. Like I complain about the Lord of the Rings franchise, how it drags on, but this, actually like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I would say D for the Hobbit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Robert Parker, I am a defender of the Hobbit movies, but I would also sort of put them in D. Like I like them, but I probably wouldn't put them that higher. And also, one of the things that I'm also going to say is that even though we can have as many as we want in these tiers, I made the decision that because we could put a lot of them in S tier, I'm going to limit S tier to 5, and all the other tiers are going to be to 9. So just to make it that little bit more difficult. But next up, we've got The Godfather. Jay, whereabouts would you put The Godfather?
The only one that anybody ever really talks about. This is not an S tier. This is not an S tier franchise. No, it's not. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. This is a C tier franchise at best. It's a C tier franchise at best with one great movie, one okay movie, and then one terrible fucking movie. I'm sorry. C tier. I'm pretty sure. Hold up. If you ever go against the family again, that's the ending. I just got a message from Kurt Kowalkowski.
I think you have to move it up one, or else you're on a horse's head.
I'm fine. I'm fine. He's in Schittsburg. C tier.
Jay's putting it in C for consigliere. Anthony, whereabouts are you putting The Godfather?
I do really enjoy these movies. I'm not going to go C. I'm also definitely not going to go S because the third one is just utter garbage. I will put it in the B tier. The first two I really do enjoy. The second one is great. First one has moments where it just drags, even though it's a great movie. Those are not my kind of movies. And then the third one really just drops it even below an A because, good God, like Sofia Coppola cannot act. She can direct.
She can barely direct.
Richard, whereabouts would you put The Godfather?
I would also put it B tier. I did really like the first two. The third one I don't remember. I know, so that doesn't really help. The fact that I don't remember. I definitely don't think it's C tier. I just don't think. I think the third one, as bad as I hear it really was, I don't think it knocks it down from A or S. So I'm going to go with B.
Doug, whereabouts would you put The Godfather?
Couldn't tell by my face.
He's
Godfather 1 and 2 are my top 5 movies of all time.
Get better top 5 movies.
You get better top 5 movies. Godfather classic for a reason. Godfather 2 is a better movie than Godfather 1 for a reason.
How about Godfather 3?
I like the movie.
Godfather 3 is the little brother that your parents said you had to take to the movies. That's why it's there.
No, it's the one that I enjoy taking to the movies. I just don't really go into the same movie as them.
But shit.
Doug said it himself. He's an advocate of child abandonment.
What tier would you put it in, Doug?
S.
Oh. You only make 5 of those, right? And you just go with the terrible third movie?
But that's just it. With your B, with Richard's B, my C, we are at a B average right now. Even with Doug's S, Malcolm would have to rank it A or higher for it to hit the A tier.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. This is tough. I haven't yet seen 3, so I've only got the first 2 to go on. And yeah, I like the movies, but it's a high B for me. So yeah, it's going to be a B.
We are going to get there.
No, that's way nicer than it deserves. That's way nicer than it deserves.
It's really hard to call the game first.
Every episode.
But the next one we have is the MCU. And I'm going to start with Anthony on this. Where would you put the MCU?
I really wish you wouldn't have done that because
You don't like them?
I love these things. I absolutely love all the MCU movies. They are my top tier favorite movies. They're me and Christina's. We've seen everyone the day it comes out in theaters. I don't know if I'd put it in the toppest of top tiers because it does have a couple losers in there. But it is 100% an A for me at the very least, very close to a S tier. But I'll put it there because there's a couple ones that are iffy, but they ended it just beautifully. I love all these movies, so definitely A for me, close to S.
Richard, where would you put the MCU?
I love the MCU. I think when your worst movies are just, they're not even bad, they're just okay, I think it's a great accomplishment. I do think like there are fantastic ones, there are very, good ones, there are okay ones. So I'm going to also put into the A tier because, there's so many. I mean, like, when all of them are really good in my opinion, like with only a few being just okay. So not quite an S tier yet, but A tier definitely.
But yeah, for me, I'm actually going to go S tier because I really love the MCU. Like, well, yes, there is a few stinkers there. I still think they're good movies, and like for me, there's only 2 stinkers. Like 2 out of 23 is to me is like not enough to say it's not S tier. So I would put it S tier. Doug, where would you put MCU?
I'd give it an A tier. I love the MCU, but I think y'all said it. If we're not going to put The Godfather up there, we're definitely not putting MCU above The Godfather.
I mean, it's going above The Godfather. It's going A, and Godfather's B. I'm telling you right now.
Jay, where would you put the MCU?
So out of 23 movies, there are 5 bad movies. We've got Captain Marvel, Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and The Incredible Hulk. These are bad movies. These are not good movies in the MCU.
Thor: The Dark World.
You said Thor 2. That is Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear.
It's gonna be an A tier for me. Granted, it's a little more than a quarter of your movies are bad. Or I'm sorry, a fifth of your movies are bad. It sucks. You're gonna get one every once in a while. There are so many other good ones that put it there, but S tier, I can't give it S tier. I can't.
Next one we have is John Wick. Richard, what do you say about John Wick?
See, John Wick, I recently just watched these 3 movies and I really love all 3. I think the first one is the better one, but not by much. They're all very entertaining. If I had to put one in S tier, I think John Wick would be one of them, just because there wasn't one that I can point out that was certainly like bad. They're all good. I enjoyed all 3 really good, so I'm gonna say S tier.
Yeah, for me, I like the John Wick movies. I would go A tier myself. But Doug, what do you say about John Wick?
Fun fact, I've only seen the first one. So going off of that, I'd give it a B.
That's right.
I've only seen
Jay,
the first one.
Jay, where would you put John Wick?
Hold on. All right, so the first one is a war against the gods of Olympus. The second one is a rock opera, and the third one is the search for redemption for the unredeemable. And somehow all of them actually work. This is a high A for me. This is right on the brink of S. I actually enjoy all of these movies. The fact that every single one of them, while being in the same genre, has a different theme to it. A genre. And there are so many he's the guy you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman. He killed 3 men with a fucking pencil. Like there's like just a shitload of stuff here. High A for me, plus Halle Berry's in the third one, and Halle Berry's always an easy A.
Anthony, where would you put John Wick?
I do really enjoy these movies. The third one also has Boban, ex-Sixter, which I do appreciate because that was a great fight scene in the beginning. But however, I don't want to put it as an A because if anyone watches Rue's show, I had this as 3 out of 4 in franchise wars, with 2 above it that I enjoyed more. John Wick has 3 solid movies, and the first one is great. I would say B, but I understand this going to an A tier for a lot of people. But for me, it would have been a B. Just I do have two franchises that I liked above John Wick when we did that debate on Rooftop.
So if
Fair.
we're going on averages, Richard put S, me and Jay both put A, and Anthony and Doug both put B.
That averages
So-
to an
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be.
I was. That's where I was
Oh,
going
okay.
to go with.
Oh,
Yeah.
A. Okay, I'm sorry.
He's
I mean,
relaxed.
I could have easily said A too, but I really loved all three. I mean,
Yeah,
we haven't had a bad movie yet. I mean,
I mean,
I have two questions.
What's up, buddy?
So,
I have one answer.
Harry Potter, we're doing just Harry Potter or Wizarding World?
it's the whole. It's the whole Wizarding World.
Okay, and Planet of the Apes, we're doing the whole Planet of the Apes, not the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes, right?
It's all. It's including the Matt Reeves and all that.
So that gets the Tim Burton one in there too.
Oh,
That gets the 2000 Tim Burton one in there too, baby.
well, that
Um,
drops it down to a not rating.
That's the F tier.
But anyway, the next question is, because I think the consensus is not a bad John Wick. Would you put it before MCU?
No,
no.
no.
There's only
Just
three
because there's only
movies.
three versus 23 movies.
Yep, that's fine. I mean, that's going to be a question. But,
Because that was a fucking masterpiece.
but anyway, next up we do have the aforementioned Harry Potter, and I'm going to start. Look, I'm one of those ones that do like the Fantastic Beasts movies, despite what a certain author wants to say these days. I'm not going to touch on that. I mean, I'm still going to say I think it's still personally an A for Harry Potter. Doug, whereabouts would you put the Wizarding World?
Crimes Against Humanity brought that series down for me. If we're including the entire series, that's now going to a B. If we want to include that, it'd probably be A or S because I love I love the Harry Potter series. It's just if we're doing it by verbatim, y'all wanted to put Godfather 3 against me. Guess what? Now those two movies are out. Those two movies are trash.
Oh no, Godfather 3. I still wouldn't watch over the two fucking Fantastic Beasts movies. I'd watch the Fantastic Beasts movies on replay before I rewatched Godfather 3. Get fucked.
Why you mad? Why you mad, bro? Why
He
you
told me
mad?
earlier why he's mad. He's more of a dick than normal. Let him be one.
Fuck!
Guess what? Roll with disadvantage. Roll your charisma. with
I'm
disadvantage.
rolling my necromancer. Fuck it.
But anyway, Jay, whereabouts would you put Harry Potter?
I don't like Crimes of Grindelwald. I love Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And it's not because of the story of the movie. It's not. It's Dan Fogler and Eddie Redmayne interacting with each other that makes me love that. So, taking one of those movies out like I did with you don't know what Matt is. You're right. I haven't heard your Red Lobster story yet. We're talking to high C. That's probably going to be I'm going to say C, mainly because had they just given Dobby a gun, the franchise could have been over. No. It gets off to a slow start. It slogs a little bit in the middle. The third one is the most beautifully shot movie, but it doesn't do a lot. C, the sad part about it is this is one of my favorite franchises, but I can understand the weak points and the strong points in it. It gets better the closer you get to the end when it gets more mature, but you have a lot of immaturity that you have to deal with. C.
So we've got 1A, 1B, and 1C. Anthony, whereabouts would you put Potter?
You are about to receive your second C. I think it is a solid C. I enjoy these movies. It's not one of those things where I don't like them. Like I dislike some other franchises. I like the Harry Potter series, but like he said, the first few, when you're a little older, it's hard to get through because they are children in this. I understand that that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's written. That's the way it's shot. But it's so obvious that they are children. Then they do such a drastic change into the dark, which I enjoyed more. Order of the Phoenix I enjoyed. I like Goblet of Fire. I know people sometimes don't like it because of however they say Goblet of Fire or whatever. I don't know. I didn't read all the books. It's cool. I enjoyed the movie. Half-Blood Prince was eh.
Right.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 was eh. 2 was fun. Fantastic Beasts, it was fine. Like he said, Dan Fogler's great. And
Fantastic Beats. I want to see that with Dan Fogler now.
the Beats, I just don't
Fantastic Beats. Dan Fogler plays Dead Mouse.
I mean,
yes!
I would watch that.
I mean,
So,
you
definitely
need a
go.
cameo from Dr. Dre there as well.
Oh, that's S tier. If Dre gets in there, it's S tier. Auto. I would say C. I enjoy the movies. They're definitely, but they don't go on the level of Godfather. So, C.
But Richard, what do you say about Harry Potter?
This is tough. I love all the books. I love the movies. I mean, except for Kind of Grimworld. I thought it was just okay. I don't like the original Harry Potter movies. They were good. They weren't like, MCU. Oh my god. There weren't like moments where like, oh my god. And I'm looking at The Godfather being a B. I can't rightfully say that Harry Potter is as good as The Godfather, especially the first 2 movies. So I'm gonna go with a C.
Also, J.K. Rowling is a terrible person.
That's true.
Yeah.
Truth.
And I love the Harry Potter movies. So I'm just saying, like, C's is still a good spot. I think C's are a great place for it anyway. I don't think C's.
Yeah, and Peggy, whoever made this tier, they left off the before trilogy. So
We only do good franchises. Peggy.
I've only watched the first one, and it's actually a really good movie. It's a little
God.
fast, but it was well done.
I gotta talk shit every time I see Peg.
Yeah, that's
I'm contractually obligated.
I gotta get her back.
But anyway, the next franchise we've got is Spider-Man, and this is including the Raimi movies, the Andrew Garfield ones, and Spider-Verse. The MCU ones don't count for this because they're already in the MCU one. But Doug, what do you say about Spider-Man?
Don't forget that also includes Spider-Verse.
I know, and Spider-Verse is like one of my favorite animated movies of all time. Fuck. All right. So we got the first 2 Raimi movies that are just still really perfect in my eyes. I really enjoy it.
3 minutes.
Bone Souls ready. The first Andrew Garfield film was really good. I enjoyed it. But for Into the Spider-Verse alone, I got to put it as an A tier. That movie, it changed things for animation for me, and it's an incredible movie. It's an incredible movie. Yeah.
Jay, what do you say about Spider-Man?
See, this would be an S tier if we didn't get to include Spider-Man 3, but since we included Godfather 3, we have to include Spider-Man 3. We have to include the best and the worst. Spider-Verse is an S tier movie by itself. Let's be real here. You got the perfect Peter Parker in Sam Raimi's Spider-Mans, and then you got the perfect Spider-Man in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like Andrew...
I'm sorry, I was joking. You got the best you got the best Peter Parker and the best Spider-Man in Into the Spider-Verse.
You're not wrong though. I mean, he did release a Christmas album. But I mean, even with that combination, I'm gonna have to go just because Spider-Verse is there, I have to go A. Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie we've ever fucking gotten.
Anthony, whereabouts would you put Spider-Man?
I'm between 2. S tier would only be for Spider-Verse. That is, like everyone said, it's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever. It's fantastic. It's well done. It brings in every character you could ever want in that movie. Spider-Man 1, the Raimi Spider-Man, great. Spider-Man 2, fantastic. Spider-Man 3, holy shit, what a nosedive. I do like Andrew Garfield, but the movies, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, were just kind of and the second one is absolute trash. I think, like a lot of people did, for Spider-Verse, for Spider-Man 2, and a little bit of the Amazing Spider-Man, I'd throw it in the A, but it is a low A. It's like really, it's teetering on B. And if
Spider-Verse wasn't there, it would be a B.
If Spider-Verse wasn't there, it's going
that goes down to like C.
Without that.
Richard, whereabouts would you put Spider-Man?
Okay, I'm also going to agree. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is also an S tier. However, that being said, I'm placing it in B. because of the fact Spider-Man 3 was garbage. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, they're supposed to learn from the mistakes of Spider-Man 3. They didn't learn from it. They added on to it, made it even freaking worse. And as much as I love Spider-Man to Spider-Verse, Sony just, rebooted this franchise so many times. They're bound to at least hit one fantastic thing, which they finally did after the MCU got, Tom Holland, their agreement. I just even though I love Spider-Man into Spider-Verse, I'm not a huge fan of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, and the third one was just crap, so I would put it in the B. But Spider-Man into Spider-Verse by itself would be S tier. I agree with that one.
Very valid.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that for me, it's going to be an A. I agree with everyone. Spider-Verse would have been an S on its own. The next question is: would you put Spider-Man above John Wick, or leave it
No,
where it is?
leave it where it is.
It's even.
I do not know why E tier suddenly moved down. But next up, we've got Night at the Museum. Anthony, where would you put Night at the Museum?
Ah, crap! I got to start this one. I don't hate these movies. I think they're fun. I know that they make Christina's kid shut the hell up when she's at school because they pay attention to it. But I mean, after the first one, it really takes a drastic downhill. Like, I enjoyed the first one; it was kind of fun. Then they got bad. I don't want to give it an E because I don't hate them that much, and there's ones in here I hate much worse. I'll go D for Night at the Museum. I still enjoy them, but they are definitely not great movies by a long shot. With the cast they have, they should be much better.
Richard, where would you put Night at the Museum?
I really liked the first one. The second one was just okay, and the third one was absolutely garbage, especially the fact that Rebel Wilson was in it. She did terrible in the third one, and I would also agree. I would put it in D tier. I don't think it's E tier yet, so I would also say D.
Yeah, I would also put it in D, just because I think they're fine movies, but they're definitely not any higher. Doug, where would you put Night at the Museum?
I'd leave it in C. I think the movies are fine. I think they're fun little rides, but I don't think it's anything to marvel at or anything that's super great.
Jay, where would you put Night at the Museum?
I can't in good conscience put Night at the Museum in the same tier as Harry Potter because it's not as good as Harry Potter. It's nowhere near as good as Harry Potter. The first one's great. The second one's great. I mean, you get people like Dick Van Dyke. You get Rami Malek. You get Ben Stiller and Robin Williams together as well. These are, it sucks. They hurt to watch now. I'm gonna go D, and that's not to say that I don't like these movies. It's just they're not the greatest.
Right. They're enjoyable, but not good.
Yes.
The big question is: would you put it above The Hobbit or leave it where it is?
I would put it above The Hobbit.
I would put it above.
Yeah, I would put it above The Hobbit.
Next one is going to be Resident Evil franchise. Richard, where would you put the Resident Evil franchise?
I mean, I've seen them all. They're just they're. You know what? I'm going to say this is the first E tier. I enjoyed the first two, and then they just kept going downhill. I mean, they're still fun to watch, but it was not it was never. I'm saying E. It was just dumb fun, just dumb watching it.
Yeah, I've seen one of these, and even I would say E tier. Doug, what do you say about Resident Evil?
The first one slaps. Everyone after that is hot garbage. It's an E.
Jay, whereabouts would you put Resident Evil?
Because I'm writing a new script for this movie, E. Because I'm going to make these movies better than they could ever possibly have been.
It's pretty definitive going to be E.
Where it's going. I'm going to say I wasn't going to put it there. Namely because I have a soft spot for shit movies, and I have a soft spot for these movies. And like he said, the first one's fantastic, and the laser grid scene is great, and it's awesome.
Hell yeah, it is.
Because I do like Mila Jovovich. In it. The first one's great, and yes, they do get worse. They are still at least entertaining to watch, and there are other things on here that I will not watch one of them at all in the series. They're all suck, but it's going in E. I know it's going in E. I'm just saying, I like it a little better.
I mean, whereabouts would you have put it? Just out of curiosity.
It would have been D. It would have been above The Hobbit, below Night at the Museum.
That's good. I was worried the way you were talking about. I was worried you're going to say it's an S tier for you.
I have some semblance of like. Come on, it's not bad, but not that bad.
He has some sanity.
but talking about the letter S, we are going on to Star Wars. Yeah, this is one that if it was just the original trilogy, it would have been S tier. But you've got to add in the prequels, which I don't mind, and the sequels, and Solo, Rogue One, and even the animated Clone Wars movie, which is still a TV show, but who cares? It's factually released. But despite all that, I do enjoy a lot of this franchise. I'm inclined to say B tier for this. Doug, where did you put Star Wars?
Averages, guys. They have about 4 really great movies. The rest of them can, I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie about politics. If I did, I'd watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which is more entertaining than the episode 1.
At least you got a chance to filibuster.
But no, I would actually put this in C. Averages. Don't bullshit me. Averages. We did the same thing in Harry Potter, so averages.
Jay, whereabouts would you put Star Wars?
I love 4, 5, and 6. I don't hate 1.
Yikes.
2. I don't hate 1. I didn't say I loved 1. I don't hate 1. 2 is abysmal. 3 has by far the best fight scene in a Star Wars movie that does not include Darth Vader walking down a hallway.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought you were saying it doesn't invade a table. Sorry.
No.
I didn't mean to interrupt you with that.
7's a remake of 4. 8 is the best of the new trilogy. 9 is fan service out the ass, and it can go fuck itself because it's not a good movie. Solo is okay. Didn't need an origin story. Still don't want one, and definitely don't need a sequel that's not called A New Hope. And Rogue One, I actually really enjoyed Rogue One. I think Rogue One is one of the better of the newer Star Wars films. I'd give it a B.
He also forgot Clone Wars.
I didn't forget Clone Wars. I just chose not to mention Clone Wars.
Anthony, where would you put Star Wars?
I also don't know. I know nothing about Clone Wars. This is not my forte. I've seen all of the movies. Like everyone said, 4, 5, 6, very enjoyable. Great movies. 7 was the fan service to me. 8, trash. 9, why? Luckily, I got a question right to beat Malcolm in a match out of a pure pull it out of my ass. Rogue One is, other than the original 3, is the best Star Wars by far, by a absolute long shot. And for that, since I really do enjoy that one, I think that's just a good movie on its own. I'll give it a C. I would almost put it down to a D, but I will give it a C due to Rogue One being a great movie, and one of the way they ended that, I absolutely loved the way that movie ended. It's a little dark, but it's how it needed to be.
I walked into that movie knowing exactly how it was going to end. Everybody was essentially a Bothan. Everybody was essentially a Bothan. Many of them died. We still got information. Thank you. Next.
So, at the moment, we've got 2 Bs, 2 Cs. Richard, whereabouts would you put Star Wars?
Let's see. The original trilogy, I love. It's fantastic. The prequels, I don't hate as much as everyone else does. I mean, the story was garbage, but the fight scenes were really fun to watch. The new trilogy, 7, I didn't mind. I thought I remember in theaters, I didn't like 7 when I saw it, and then I liked it as much as I bought on Blu-ray and watched it more. 8, I find it okay. I didn't like it. 9 was okay. We didn't need the prequel. We didn't need the origin stories of Rogue One or Han Solo. I would say C. I just feel like those movies did not need to be made, and Clone Wars was eh.
Before or after Harry Potter?
After Harry Potter.
After
Before,
Harry Potter.
before Harry Potter.
I'm going before.
Just-
I enjoyed Rogue One more than any
That's
of the
true.
Harry Potter movies.
That's true.
I enjoyed more of the Harry Potter movie. I enjoyed more of the Star Wars movies than I did the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, that. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone else deserves that. Yeah, I would go with Jay. Star Wars.
I would have said after, but the majority said before, so I've got to go with it. Next up, we've got Back to the Future. Doug, where would you put Back to the Future?
Motherfucking S tier. This is one of the perfect franchises.
No, it's not.
You can
Doug.
sit on a brick and swirl it around. Okay.
I will roll with double disadvantage. I will roll with double disadvantage. I don't give a fuck, dude. These movies are not good. Stop letting nostalgia blind you.
Yikes. I just watched these movies. It's not nostalgia.
Jay, where would you put
tier.
Back to the Future?
E tier.
Wow.
These movies are trash, bro.
Whoa.
Fuck Roberts. Fuck Robert Zemeckis.
Whoa.
These movies are trash, bro.
Whoa.
You know, I feel like I
The
knew
only-
this was coming.
The only reason people like these movies is mainly because the majority of the people who still talk about these movies found them in their childhood. That's not a hot take, actually. The whole issue is most people found these in their childhood and they really liked them in childhood and have gone back and watched them with nostalgia glasses and not actually watched them as like an adult movie goer / movie watcher. And they're still like, oh, I loved this when I was a kid, but damn. No, these aren't good fucking movies. I will fight Nazario and I will fight Mike Hanley and I will fight Doug as well. E tier.
Yeah, Anthony.
Above Resident
I
Evil.
already knew that was coming.
Above Resident Evil, though.
Yikes.
Anthony, whereabouts would you put Back to the Future?
I mean, I'm not sure if you saw what happened. If I don't put this as an S or an A tier, I'm in trouble. But I actually do. I'm not going to put it S tier. I do really like these movies, and Christina would 100% have this S tier if you need a secondary vote. I know that for a fact. It goes in A tier for me. I enjoy the movies. Nostalgia glasses or not, guess what happens with nostalgia? It still lives with you, and it's still you can enjoy the movies and love the movies for that reason. There are plenty of movies on here. I'm sure that nostalgia glasses hit, and you're just like, maybe. But I enjoy these movies. I've watched them numerous times. Hold on. Jay, you're about to get yelled at. Give me a second. I can hear it.
I can hear
You
it.
can hear it. You can hear it.
can hear it.
Start coming.
Stand by. Stand by. I'm out.
Fuck this shit. I'm not commenting on YouTube, bitch. I was asleep, motherfucker, and your dumbass.
Apparently you weren't.
Yeah, thank you. These movies are fucking perfect. Not nostalgic because I have a grown ass brain. I'm fucking smart and I've watched them a bunch of times. And they're still good. I watched them my whole life, and they're still fucking good.
So you watched them when you were a child and loved them when you were a child, and you still love them into adulthood and haven't actually watched it as an adult. I get it, because every time you watch this movie, you go back to being a child, and you're like, I loved this when I was a kid. No, these movies aren't good. I'm sorry.
That's not true.
That's not true, bro. That's not true. Read a fucking book. There's like a million of them about how great these movies are. You're lucky I got to work from home tomorrow, so that way I can be here for this conversation of whatever garbage you're spewing. With my little...
Do you want to join in?
Can I get back up?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's back.
So thank you for that, Jay, because at some point
whatever
I'm
the
trying to go to
highest
sleep.
rating is, that's where this goes.
But anyway, we've got one S, one E, one A. Richard, where'd you put Back to the
Apparently it's
Future?
second S.
Jay, I love you, man, but you're out of your fucking mind if you think
guys are
this is a
small.
fucking E tier. If you want to talk about nostalgia classes, that's called Star Wars as well. I love Star Wars, but
I
the
went through
original
and
three do not hold up.
I broke down my reasons, and I just watched all those
I
movies
actually
last
love
year.
Back to the Future. It is 100% an S tier. I love all three movies. They're all good.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. No.
Richard,
What?
I just had fucking off in the middle of my video.
Oh.
Bye-bye. Yeah, S tier.
But yeah, sorry, Jay, but I love Back to the Future trilogy. It's an S tier.
Knew that was that one. Jesus Christ, Clint.
Three S's, an A, and an E. I still think that's only an A tier.
I mean, it's one of those ones like I was going on more S's, but if you like, I could put it down to
Well, no,
A.
I just mean on law of averages. I mean, if you want to put it in S tier, that's fine. I will argue with anybody any given time why these movies
Well,
aren't
I mean-
good. But I think that was 3 S's, 1 A, and a
And 1
D,
A.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that averages out to an A. That's just me though. I don't know math.
it's what I was about to say is there's a good chance it could go down to an A once we sort of get more going in front of it. Anyway, because as I said, we can only have 5 in the S tier, so
I can see
But,
3 that
yeah.
deserve a bit more than that already on our tier list.
but with that, we move up to Narnia. Jay, what do you say about Narnia?
I say about Narnia the same thing I said about Resident Evil, and the same thing I said about Back to the Future. I don't need Jesus allegories in my movies this heavily fucking handed. C.S. Lewis, not that great of an. These movies aren't that good. I know the first one's okay. They shouldn't have made anything after the second one, so it shouldn't have been a quote unquote franchise. Each year.
Anthony, what do you say about Narnia?
100% agree. I watched these. I made it through the first one, which was a difficult thing to do. Then the other two, I just basically tried to make it, and I think I stopped them halfway. They were bad. This definitely is an E tier. It is one of the bottom of the barrels on this one. Yeah, Narnia is not. It was just not. They tried. They failed.
Richard, what do you say about Narnia?
I mean, I didn't hate the movies, but like, I didn't really care for them. I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't wait for these movies. The first one, I kind of like. Second one, the rest are trash. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say E. It's not like they were bad. It's just like I didn't care for them.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Like, I like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't hate Prince Caspian and Voyage, but I would say E tier. Doug, where would you have gone with this?
Same E tier.
Before or after Resident Evil?
After.
Until someone gets cut up with lasers in Narnia, it's going after Resident Evil.
You're not wrong.
But
That
next
first
up,
movie slaps so hard, though.
So
That first movie's so good.
So good.
next up, we've got Toy Story. Anthony, what do you say about Toy Story?
Man, this one to me, I think is a little tougher. But I know a lot of people love the fourth one. I do not. But I think I would still throw it. The first 3 were all just fantastic, and it only got better between two, in my opinion. 1, then 2 got even better, and then 3 got even better, and 3 just tugged at your heartstrings like no other at the end of that. I would say Toy Story does go in A tier. It's one of the best Pixar things Pixar brought out until the fourth one. It doesn't go into S because of the fourth one. Even if it has Keanu in it, you can't say that all the time. It's not. It completely ruined the arc.
Yes, we Canada.
Definitely not a. The first 3 are brilliant, and the fourth one kind of took away the whole arc that they were going for. I did not appreciate that.
Richard, what do you say about Toy Story?
I kind of disagree with Anthony. I really like the fourth one. I love all 4 of these movies. I thought they were brought unique perspective. I love how they're like the fourth one. They're passing the torch off to someone else, really retiring. So I gotta say S tier. I love each and every single movie. I don't think there's been a bad one. And I mean, Keanu's voicing wasn't that impressive, but you can't really take away one voice actor over the whole movie. And I think,
I just like Keanu.
yeah, I say S tier for me. I thought they were all 4 great.
But yeah, I also love all 4 Toy Story movies. I would also say S tier. Doug, where would you put Toy Story?
I don't love 4 as much. Everybody knows that 3 is probably my favorite because of how it ends, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the ending that it had. Was it necessary? No, but did I enjoy it? I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it gave Woody a fine ending to be able to do his own and not have to worry about children anymore or their pleasure. He could actually worry about his own happiness. I mean, to me, it doesn't have anything that's worse than, or that's as bad as Marvel's bad. So I'd have to put it as.
Jay, whereabouts would you put Toy Story?
See, here's the thing. You want to talk about passing a torch, like with the toys, yes, it comes down to like Woody passing it off at the end of 4, but I mean, we already had the passing of the torch with Andy giving all of his toys to his sister at the end of 3, which really kind of negates anything that could come after that. 4 is completely just to quote what's his bucket from that movie. I'm trash.
Yikes.
No, I actually didn't hate. I didn't hate 4. I didn't hate 3. 2 had one of my favorite credits gags that they took out for Disney Plus. That shit made me laugh when I was 12 years old. It still made me laugh when I was fucking almost 30 years old. This is a solid B tier for me. I'm not as big of a fan as of Toy Story as everybody else is. I'm really not.
Yep, that's fine. Now the question is, did you want to go with the averages, or did you want to go with what gets said most? Because I will move Back to the Future down if you want to go with the averages.
Oh, I thought we were going off the averages, but Back to the Future is fine, especially if we have like a final say at the end where we have everything and we can actually move stuff around, because it'll give us a little bit more of a perspective at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for now, Toy Story would go up here because there was 3 S's, because that's how we've been doing it up to now. Toy Story before Back to the Future or after? I know what Jay's going to say, but everyone else.
I would say after.
Yeah.
Yep. But next up, we have got one that's going to be impossible to rank. It's the Mission Impossible.
Solid pun, Malcolm.
Richard, where did you put the Mission Impossible franchise?
I haven't seen all of them, but for the ones I have seen, I've liked. Like Ghost Protocol is probably one of my favorite ones. The first one was really good. I'm just gonna stay right now because I haven't seen them all. I'm gonna say B because they're still fun. But I think the second one wasn't great from what I remember. Or the third one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Richard. I've only seen the first 3 for Mission Impossible, so for me, I have to say B for now. Doug,
Please watch the last 3. Please watch the last 3.
Yeah, I'll give it I would give it an A. I think Mission Impossible is a really good series. I enjoy it thoroughly. Besides the second one, that's the only one that I have issues with, if anything, and I think that's what brings it down a little bit back.
Okay.
What, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
One where he's hanging from a fucking mountain, launches a. Yeah, no, I'm good. I think 3's better than that, and it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it, so that's auto.
Philip Seymour heroin.
Yikes.
But Jay, where did you put Mission Impossible?
I put Mission Impossible in a solid B. The only one I really don't like is the first one. I don't really like any of them, but like I can sit back and objectively say the only one that I truly dislike a lot is the first one, and that's just because the first one is boring as shit. The rest of them are actually really entertaining, and you get to see the results of Superman's baby mouth in one of these movies. So that will always make me chuckle. So yeah, I would give it a solid B.
All right, so we've got 3 Bs, A. Anthony, where would you put it?
Well, it seems like there's more B's than A's, but I am 100% giving this an A. This was the one on Rue's thing. This is the one that got to stay for me, because other than 2, they're great. I like the first one. Jay's right. It is slower. They tried to do more of the spy movie aspect of it. Once you understand that it's more of the spy movie, you get why it's a little slower. The second one, it's John Woo, there's dogs, it's weird. Third one, Phil.
Yes.
And then
Guns, slow-mo, somebody's firing 2 guns. Yeah.
Yes. 4, 5, 6 just get better and better and better. Henry Cavill's fantastic in the last one. Tom Cruise.
Mustache is excellent.
The mustache, I wish I could do that. I wish I could pull out the arm, the cocking of the arms. Christina would love it. We watched that scene about 15 times. I love this.
He's got the Henry Selick mustache, doesn't he?
No, it worked for Henry Cavill. Everything works for Henry Cavill. Just let it be. Just let that name be. No, but Malcolm, you definitely need to see 4, 5, and 6 because those are all even better than the first 3. They only get better.
Now, before or after Godfather?
I would say after Godfather, in my opinion.
There are more enjoyable Mission Impossible movies than there are Godfather movies. And for that reason, I would say I would put Mission Impossible over Godfather. That's just me, though.
No way.
Doug,
You have literally two pretty much goddamn perfect movies and one solid movie.
It's not.
No
solid.
way.
It's not.
Godfather 3 is definitely
It's
at
not
least a
solid.
solid movie.
This movie is not solid, bro.
Whatever.
That movie is frozen pudding.
I agree with you, Doug.
The writing is 10 times better than any Mission Impossible movie. The drama, the you can't say you watch that Sunny scene and don't get fucking choked up about it when he gets lit the fuck up.
That's
Like,
one scene in a 4.5 hour long movie. That's not
When
anything.
Fredo gets killed, that's a fucking.
I'm sorry.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
Third one. No, we're at the ones we all agreed are good. Okay. Is worse than Mission Impossible 2, and there are more Mission Impossible movies. That's 5 out of 6 good movies in a sequel, and Godfather is 2 out of 3. They might be 2 of the best movies of all time, according to some. They are slower. They are long as shit.
I would also argue who won an Oscar. What movies won an Oscar?
The Oscars are bullshit.
All right.
Not back
Congrats,
then.
you guys can act. I want to watch a movie that I can just. I'm sitting there and I'm
Those Oscars were hella white back then, Doug. Don't give me that.
every single second of Mission Impossible is I did. But
I didn't say
that's not our
that.
thing.
No, I didn't.
So from what I'm hearing, I think the majority is saying before Godfather.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think Doug and Malcolm.
I said Doug and Doug and me said after, and then Jay and Anthony said before. So
Yes.
you're the
Yes.
You're the excited.
Malcolm.
I mean, based on what I've seen,
Yikes. Yikes.
This is the best movie.
Doug's done. He's gonna unfriend all of us after this episode's over.
Not just fucking
I
happened.
mean, Doug is probably. I'll be
Two
once
of the
Kurt. Once
best
Kurt
movies-
sees what we've once
Two
Kurt
of the
sees what we've
best movies of all time.
done. But
Better
anyway,
than any movie in any of these franchises. There's a reason Godfather 1 and 2 are in my top 5 for a
Yes,
reason.
but you also have to look. We're looking at the whole franchise, not one.
Right, hold on. All right, hold on. I'm gonna go to the Metacritic right now of Godfather Part 3. I bet you it's above an 80.
I guarantee you.
It might be, but
but anyway, while Doug's through that, we're going to move on to the next one, and that's James Bond. Anthony, whereabouts would you put James Bond?
If anyone knows me, they probably know this is going in my S tier. I absolutely love, and it might not deserve to be there, and this is 100% bias on me. I love James Bond movies. I know some of them are absolute trash. Some of them are, but they have been. There's a reason this has been around for longer than pretty much all of these other franchises.
Yeah, it's called sexism.
I mean, it's not. I mean, partly, but that's not the reason it's been around longer. I mean, partly sexism, yes, and it's a. Believe me, James Bond is not a good person, but you also read the books, and he's not a good person there either. I love these movies. Daniel Craig revamped it. He has 2 good, 2 bad. I'm going to be perfectly honest. This is a full-on bias. You all give your rankings. I'm putting in that because I love Bond. That's all. I'm just going to be fully honest.
Richard, where would you put James Bond?
I'm not a fan of James Bond at all. I mean, the Pierce Brosnan movies were garbage. Sean Connery's. I mean, some of them are good, but most of them just don't hold up anymore. Daniel Craig is okay. I'm saying a C. I can understand why people like it. I'm not a fan of the 007 franchise, so I'm putting it as a C overall.
Yeah. For me, based on what I've seen and what I can remember, I would hesitantly put it low B, high C. I'm probably going to lean towards B for me. Doug, whereabouts would you put Bond?
Considering Craig's is my favorite Bond, I'm probably gonna put it in C. 3 out of the entire franchise. Also, 78% audience score, 7.8% in Metacritic. So boom, Godfather 3 is not a terrible movie.
That's not above 80%.
It doesn't matter. It's close enough.
You said above 80%.
Close
You
enough.
said above
It's like
80%.
horseshoe.
78
It's
is not above 80.
Godfather goes down to C tier because he was wrong.
Get out of here.
Okay.
But yeah, Doug said C, so we've got 2 C's, 1 S, 1 B. Jay, where's about to put Bond?
Just to average this out so we can hit the C tier because that's where it deserves to be. I'm gonna say it's a D. So here, hold on. Hear me out here. Sean Connery is a sexual predator in every single one of his Bond movies.
Accurate.
100 no's, 50 no's, and a yes is still a yes is something that he has said is James fucking Bond. Get fucked. That's disgusting. He's not even British. That
sexism.
I didn't say you did. You just agreed with it that it was a reason why it was still around.
Okay.
I got you. I'm not saying you're a sexist. You're not a sexist. You're married to a woman. God, you can be wrong sometimes.
But anyway, Bond is going into C. Before or after Star Wars or Harry Potter?
You know what my answer is, so I'm just going to let everyone else go.
After.
Where we're at right now, I'm gonna have to say after. It's gonna depend on our final list, though.
So basically, where it is right now, you're all fine with.
I would have put it in front of Harry Potter.
Oh.
Ooh.
I mean,
I really like the Craig Bonds. I really like.
So do I. I just don't like Quantum of Solace. That's the only one I really don't like.
It's not good.
Yeah,
I don't like the last 2 Pierce Brosnan movies.
This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt me, but I do have to put it in between.
Good, move that one. Yeah.
All right. I don't hate it.
So this next one's gonna hurt me because we have to be realistic with it, and it's got one of the greatest movies of all time in it.
It's also got one of the greatest. It's also got one of the worst movies of all time in it.
But yeah, the next one we've got is X-Men, and this is including the Wolverine trilogy.
Yep.
And the 2 Deadpools. And I'm going to start with Richard.
All right. The original X-Men trilogy. Loved the first 2. Third one was garbage. The First Class one, the first 2 I really liked. The last 2, absolute garbage. Wolverine X-Men Origins, garbage.
Correct.
I liked the Wolverine. It was okay.
Correct.
It wasn't terrible. I love Logan. Deadpool 1 and 2 is great.
Correct.
With that being said, with only 5 movies, I think, if I'm correctly, 5 movies being terrible, 5 or 6, I'm going to say it is A minus, B plus. I will be nice. I will say A minus, so a low A.
12, so that's 50%.
Yeah, for X-Men, I'm probably also going to go. I'm actually going to go a high B. Doug, we're about to say you're going to put X-Men.
I'm realistic. Don't ever take it against me. It's high C. If we're being honest, it's a 50% series. That you got to put it at high C. While Logan, Deadpool, First Class, X2 are some of the best superhero movies ever to be placed.
I'm going to change mine to a B. Sorry.
I got to put it as C.
Right, so we've got 2 Bs, a C. Jay, we're going to put X-Men.
Well, I shit on J.K. Rowling, which means that I got to shit on Brett Ratner too. Not that he doesn't deserve it, not that she didn't deserve it. They both deserve it. They're both terrible fucking people. I didn't like X-Men Origins Wolverine. The Wolverine, however, is actually quite high on my X-Men list. Apocalypse is Days of Future Past, I like. Dark Phoenix, and that's sad to say. This is a high C for me. This is definitely a high C. It doesn't beat out Harry Potter. This is
flavor?
Fruit punch, bitch.
Orange is the best.
You're not wrong though, but I like to mix both of them together and then add a little bit of Sprite on top.
True.
But
Don't mind our fatness.
but we've got 2 Bs, 2 Cs. Anthony, whereabouts would you put it?
Oh, crap.
This is for you, Garth. It's clear high C.
Oh no, I'm over here trying to make a flow chart of when it was good and when it was bad.
Good, bad.
It is so dead set because Dark Phoenix is one of the absolute worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, did we have to include New Mutants?
Yes.
Because then D.
I'll go.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm probably gonna go. Well, now he said that. I'm probably gonna go C, just because. I mean, they have some great movies. X-Men 2 is fantastic. First Class, Days of Future Past, fantastic. Logan, great. Wolverine was watchable. Origins was not, and X-Men 3 was not. And God, Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix should make this not rated, but
Anthony, can I give something to sway your vote maybe just a little bit higher?
you may. I will accept it.
Yukio was correct. In the Wolverine.
Yes, I remember.
You will die with your heart in your hands. He died holding Laura's hand. The end of Logan. I love that connection. It adds a little bit more interconnectivity to it for me, and it elevated it just a little bit, at least in my mind.
I agree with you. I did really appreciate that scene, but then I also add Apocalypse into the mix, and that hurts.
I don't actually hate Apocalypse as much as everybody else does. The whole "Yes, world shall burn."
It's got one of the best Magneto scenes.
It does.
But anyway, the next question is: whereabouts would you put it on the C?
I'll
it's
keep
not
it
bad.
in the front of C.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say whereabouts on the C tier would you
In
put
front.
in the front.
Close to a B, because I know no one's going to give me my bond, so I'll just throw it in the front and put it above.
it? Yeah,
I put it in the front.
I'd say it goes in front of James Bond.
Richard.
I mean, I think it's fine where it is right there, but I mean, I'm fine. I'm okay wherever you guys decide.
Yeah.
I don't see like it being better than Harry Potter. That was my thing.
I mean, it's.
We
one
can
of
always
those-
go through and change it at the end.
Yeah.
Give us
Yeah.
a little bit more perspective, and we can take a broader look at it. This is literally just like our summary of them, and then
Yeah.
Go through, and then we.
But anyway, the next franchise that is up here is the Fockers franchise, which is
Yes.
and Little Fockers.
Yes.
I feel like I'm disagreeing with some people here.
I'm gonna
What?
start on.
What?
I'm
Oh.
gonna start with this one. I
I've
would
nibbles.
probably
Greg, can you milk me?
I would probably put this low C. Like I don't like it any higher than that, but I think all three are great. Doug, where would you put this trilogy?
Comedy gold in this entire series. I got nipples. Can you milk me, Greg? Puff the magic. What did he? Did you puff the magic dragon, Greg? Yeah, no, I gotta put it in a B. I love that movie. I love the entire series. I think the entire series is hilarious. You can be disappointed in me all you want, Anthony. I love that series.
It's fine.
So what was that? Was that S tier for you, Doug?
B.
Was that S tier for you, Doug?
Yes.
I love you. I love you, Malcolm.
Well, there was more because I missed what letter he actually said. Just the way he was describing it was like he was. But anyway, Jay, where would you put this trilogy?
Look, you always have to add something to complete a circle of trust. And in the Fokker circle of trust, Gaylord Fokker has a D in his name, and it's not good enough for an A, so D is where this goes. I love the first two. Little Fokkers, on the other hand, is difficult, bro. Just D.
Anthony, whereabouts would you put this trilogy?
how far down does this screen go? Like, can you possibly go down to like a letter of the alphabet that's below Z?
Yeah, it's called ZZ Top.
Oh, can I put it at ZZ Top, please? Well, I absolutely despise these movies. It is an E for me if I can't go any lower. I think they're so over the top. They're ridiculous. They just go for that. Oh, everything that could possibly go wrong for this guy goes wrong, and you're supposed to think it's funny. I cannot stand that. It doesn't. They do it too over the top. Unlike one of the other ones, franchises on here, where the first one was brilliant and it was well done, and it wasn't really copying anything. This one was just so over the top. I didn't like.
You're married to a younger version of Rosalind Fokker, and that's what you got to say. Okay.
Again, I hate these movies, and I don't get that reference at all.
Ben Stiller's mom.
So yeah, basically, it's all down to Richard. We've got every letter from B to E. Where would you put it?
Honestly, I would say a D, just because like I enjoy the Fokker movies fine, but if I'm looking at my C list, it's nowhere as good or as memorable as Star Wars, X-Men, 007, Harry Potter. I mean, they're fine movies, but I think D. No one really talks about them anymore.
I got nipples. Can you milk me?
Can we take him off the screen until we're done talking about
BYE!
Now I know Anthony would put it, but would you put it at the start, above Night at the Museum, or in the middle, or at the end?
Above The Hobbit.
I would say above The Hobbit, at least.
Above The Hobbit.
All right. Next up, we've got Rocky.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start with Doug. Doug, where would you put
Motherfucking
Rocky?
S tier. I don't give a fuck about Rocky 5. Motherfucking S tier. The rest of them, I can go ham and watch all of them in a marathon in one day. Creed 1 and 2 are fucking fantastic. The first Rocky's amazing. Rocky 4, Rocky stopped communism.
Rocky didn't.
just like,
He didn't stop communism. He just stopped the Cold War. Communism still existed afterwards.
Not Rocky.
It was the
Jay.
best Christmas ever.
Jay, where would you put the Rocky franchise?
I don't like Rocky 3. I don't really like.
Jay.
Fucking hate you, Doug. I don't like Rocky 3. I don't like Balboa. I love Creed. Andrew is in Creed 2. He is Felicia Rashad's shoulder goblin in that movie. So I'm gonna have to go with A. I enjoy all but like 2 of these movies, and he ended the Cold War. Like he ended the Cold War.
Like you couldn't get him a Wheaties sponsorship.
Anthony, whereabouts would you put Rocky?
I will. I don't even know what Doug's doing anymore. I'm starting to lose it. I would put it in A. It doesn't go in S because there is still Rocky 5. The soundtracks for a lot of these movies are fantastic, and they're music you can listen to a lot when you're just doing stuff, trying to work out, run, any of that. It's great. Good montage. And the 2 Creeds are some of the best movies to come out recently. They are fantastic. Michael B. Jordan is great in the role, and Sylvester Stallone does a great job as an older Rocky. So I would definitely give it A. Doesn't go to S because there is still Rocky 5, and S needs perfection.
Richard, where'd you put Rocky?
You see, like everyone hates on Rocky 5. I mean, it's not as great a movie as everyone says it is, but I love the cappiness. I love the cheesiness. I love all of them. Well, I do agree it's not S tier, but it's definitely A. It's definitely A tier. Like I love every single Rocky movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is another franchise I haven't quite finished yet, but I would still say A as well.
Above John Wick.
No.
Above John just for Creed alone, above John Wick.
I have to agree with Doug on that.
Yeah.
It's not above the MCU, but it is above the Spider-Mans.
Okay.
And the only thing I could say with that is you would have to move the Spider-Mans just based on one movie alone above John Wick.
Okay,
which would put John Wick as the last in the A tier, but we can do that later. Do that later.
I'm sorry. I think John Wick 2 and 3 are leagues better than any
Then
of the bad
Creed
movies.
Creed 1 and 2 better than
Oh no
both
no
those
no no
movies.
no! I'm not talking about. I'm
Okay.
not talking about the Rocky movie.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
talking about.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about the
Richard.
Spider-Man and I'm talking about the Spider-Man and John Wick movement.
Yeah,
I
what's
got
on that?
I
But
don't think
anyway-
that.
We'll do that later.
Yeah.
But anyway, the next one we have is is Batman, and this is the Batman 4 movies, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Nolan verse.
And
I mean,
Batman v
Prime, I-
Superman, 66 Batman,
Okay, I was gonna say, is it all the Batman movies?
Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Wait,
Oh,
we lost
Malcolm first.
Yeah, Malcolm Frost. No, you just broke his brain because you were like, I have to add in Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that breaks my brain every time.
I
There
know.
he is. All right. Well,
What I was about to say is it's going to be like all Batman movies. Batman v Superman is the only one that is going to be exempt because that's going to come under DCEU, which is down here
Perfect.
later on.
Okay.
just
So does that include the Lego Batman movie?
I will include the Lego Batman movie.
All
I-
right.
Does that include Joker?
I mean, I'm inclined to say yes, but I'll see what
Batman's
everyone else
in it.
thinks about Joker.
I'm just saying,
I
Batman's
mean-
in it.
Batman is not in that movie. Bruce
Thomas Wayne is in it.
it doesn't
Bruce
matter.
Wayne's in
Batman's not in it. He's not Batman yet. Not
All right,
Batman.
all
His
right.
parents don't get killed in
Bruce
the last
Wayne-
3 minutes of the movie. Spoiler.
Bruce Wayne is in that movie. Bruce Wayne is in every other Batman movie that there is. Connection. Boom. Drop the microphone.
It's almost like
anyway-
the paper.
You said
I'm just trying to give myself reasons to bump the movie a little bit.
But anyway, Jay, what do you say about Batman?
Look, I love the campiness of Batman 66. 89's Tim Burton's Batman is good. The next one is great. The Batman Mask of the Phantasm is one of my favorite Batman movies of all time. Mark Hamill is the best Joker of all time. Fucking fight me. Kevin Conroy is the best voice of a Batman. Ben Affleck is the best on-screen appearance of a Batman that we've gotten. We can argue about that all we want. I would like to make a special shout out for the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 to also be added into this, just to bump the score higher, which would put all of the Batmans, even with the Nolans, even with I really only don't like one of them, and I think Christopher Nolan is so far up his own ass with all of his movies. This is a high A for me. This is a high A for me.
The Killing Joke.
It's a low A for me. It's a low A for me.
But Anthony, where would you put the Batman?
probably right where Jay did. It would be in the A's. If you're including all of the DC animated universe and stuff like that, from Justice League Dark to all the Justice League movies to Flashpoint, where you get the Thomas Wayne Batman, who is Batman. These things are brilliant. If DCEU just did what the DC animated universe did, it might bypass Marvel. Those are that good.
Might.
Okay, it
Might.
might bypass Marvel.
Might.
Because it's
Might.
do it, but it should. So I would 100% give this a. I always all the real ones, even Batman and Robin's the one pure trash. Batman Forever has the campy goodness you love from Jim Carrey. So fine, it's good enough. And I gotta go. It's going in A. Yes, Killing Joke was trash. At least the first 30 minutes of it, and then they went pure comic, and it was fine. But
Except for when he actually fucks her in the comics too. Okay.
no, I think the first 30 minutes.
But
Just say it. Just say it.
Richard, what do you say about Batman?
I kind of agree. I like the campiness of 66 Batman. 89 I really like. Returns I like. Forever, I like it. That was okay. It wasn't great. Batman and Robin, it was a terrible movie, but it's a fun terrible movie to watch. I like Batman Begins over than The Dark Knight, with the exception of Heath Ledger's Joker. I think that movie was just eh. And Dark Knight Rises, but I would say an A as well, because I wouldn't say there has been one movie's trash Batman, which was Batman and Robin, but it was still fun to go back up. So A.
Yeah, I would also say A. I like all the movies, all the Batman movies. But yeah, Doug, whereabouts would you put? Whereabouts would you have put Batman?
This is hard.
I mean, it's already going to be an A, so I give it an A.
Now, I mean, even though we're going to rearrange this later anyway, but would you put it in between Rocky and Spider-Man, or whereabouts would?
Yeah, that way.
I'd put it above both of those, but that's just me.
So
I would just put it above Rocky and below Marvel. Like I said, if they did the right thing, it would be better than Marvel, but they didn't hit it just yet. But those two are a little neck and neck, but Marvel goes just a little above because they finished the story.
In my opinion, I would say Rocky goes above Batman, just because I like all the Rocky movies, and there were a few Batmans that weren't as great.
yeah, I mean, like,
I'm in the same boat.
we're going to go. But after this, we're going to go back and sort of arrange them anyway. But next up, we've got Lord of the Rings. I know this person really loves them. Anthony, where would you put them?
I'm not going to put them all the way at the end. And why? Because, apparently they're beautifully shot, and they look beautiful, and they're nice and good for everybody. It's going to be because these movies are boring as shit. There's like 2 good fight scenes,
Yikes.
and then they fucking walk for hours.
Even the trees walked in the fucking movies.
Yes, thank you. Clerks 2 said it best. It's ridiculous. I'll drop it in the fucking lava. Who cares? It's boring. I don't like these movies, and everyone that's heard me talk before knows I don't like these movies. I find them boring. They are beautifully shot. They look nice, but I fell asleep in the theaters during all 3 of them. All 3. I couldn't make it. So I'm putting it in D. I know people love them, so some people rise them up. But for me, D.
Richard, where did you put Lord of the Rings?
Well, see, originally I couldn't stand Lord of the Rings, but for like studying purposes, I rewatched all 3 and I watched the extended editions. And as much like I liked it even more. It's nowhere. I'm putting this a C right now because I think it's as good as Harry Potter. I don't think it is B or A class tier quite yet, just because it does drag on. It is a lot of walking, a lot of exposition. I mean, but the acting is great, but for overall entertainment, me going back to watching it, I would say it's a C.
I'm putting my blinders on so I can't see the haters.
This is a motherfucking
Jordy LaForge.
This is a motherfucking S tier. Lord of the Rings is perfect. And people, you may think I'm saying this because I'm from New Zealand. It was filmed here. I made these movies.
He motherfucking directed the movie.
But Doug, where would you put Lord of the Rings?
Motherfucking S tier.
All right, if this is the case, I'm switching my grade to D because it is definitely not S tier.
Join me.
Jay, where would you put Lord
No,
of the
but
Rings?
seriously, mine's still C.
Here's the thing.
Don't do it.
Doug, we shit on Godfather 3 a whole lot. But you know what's better than Battle of the 5 Armies? Godfather 3 is better than Battle of the 5 Armies.
This isn't including that.
Yeah.
It's
It
just
is.
the Lord of the Rings. No,
No,
it's not.
it's-
We
no,
put
you're
the
right.
highlight separate.
You're right. Because
Yeah.
because we made that decision.
Yes.
Then it's gotta be S tier. It's gotta be an S tier. It's
Oh
gotta
my
be.
god, you gave me a fucking heart attack for a minute. Jesus Christ, Jay.
I'm sorry, I forgot we had split it. It was an hour and a half ago, okay?
Woo!
I think the second one would bring it down, in my opinion. Because I really love the first and third one. It's just the second one is like,
I mean, whereabouts would you put it?
You'd have to
in-
put it at top end. You'd have to put it above Marvel Studios because there's a
Well, I
C and
was
a
talking
B.
about. I was talking about.
So here's the thing: it goes Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Back to the Future. That's how your S tier rank should go right now.
Back to the Future, Toy Story, Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
I actually say Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, and Toy Story.
I'm not winning this battle. I know that's going to be the top franchise of them all. Just do it. Do your thing. Be bored. It's fine.
I will enjoy my 3.
Y'all motherfuckers are boring as shit. Y'all motherfuckers are boring as shit. Y'all put Back to the Future in S tier. Y'all are fucking simps.
It is. Sit
Y'all
down.
are fucking
Sit
simps.
down. Sit down.
Y'all are all homers.
Sit
Y'all are all
down.
simps, son.
Sit
I can
down.
watch all 3 Back to the Futures by the time one Hobbit walked a mile in one of those movies.
Truth. You're not wrong, but I still enjoy their walking. They got big feet with hair.
Yeah,
on them.
I'm sorry. All I had to do was grab an eagle to throw it in the god dang.
Anyway, next we've got the Hangover trilogy.
I don't know if I have to make it tomorrow.
Richard, we're going to start with you.
I like the first one fine, but the other two were just I didn't like them. I would say it's a D tier. Just because I think it overstayed its welcome. If it was a one by itself, if it was one movie, it'd probably be high.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Hangover trilogy. I would put it D tier above The Hobbit. Doug, where would you put Hangover?
If it was just the first movie, I'd say that shit was an S tier. But because it's not the first movie, it's not just the first movie, I'd give that thing a D.
Jay, where would you put the Hangover?
This is an E rank franchise. This is an E rank franchise.
Anthony, where would you put the Hangover?
I see exactly where I'm putting it on here. The first one was great. I didn't hate the third one as much as everyone did because they changed the plan and made it go dark comedy. The second one was the biggest rehash of a movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, they just changed it to a different city.
Yeah, they changed a different city and a different person got caught. It was bad. I did like they did dark comedy for the third, but it's still going in the D tier. So it's hanging out down there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's better than Resident Evil. I'm just saying.
Well, it's better than Meet the Fockers, so I needed something to go ahead of it.
Fair.
So where would you put it? Like, we've got one vote for above Meet the Fockers. I would put it above The Hobbit. Richard, where would you put?
I would actually put it just above The Hobbit. I actually kind of like the Fokker all three of the movies more than I did The Hangover.
I'm in that boat. I enjoy more of the Meet the Fockers franchise than I do the Hangover franchise.
Again, we're going to range this at the end.
But next up, we've got Kung Fu Panda. And I'm going to start off with this. I like the first one. The first two is fine, but I would probably put it right at the top of the D tier. Doug, where would you put Kung Fu Panda?
I like the first two. I didn't see the third one, so I'd give it a C.
Jay, where would you put Kung Fu Panda?
This is a high A tier for me. It's a high A tier for me. Not only do they get like the Furious Five, you get Jack Black joining in. You get James Hong as his dad. You get Bryan Cranston as his actual dad. You get Michelle Yeoh. You get Gary Oldman. You get J.K. Simmons. You get so many big names in here, and they work so well with each other. This is a franchise that I don't think like enough people have actually watched all of them because they're like, oh, it's just another paint by numbers movie. It's not. Each one is a different story that happens to hold the same characters, and you learn something new from each one of them. This is an A tier movie for me, and it's a high A.
So I've got 1A, 1C, 1D. Anthony, where would you put Kung Fu Panda?
I'm going to split the difference in a lot of people here, and I'm going to put it into B tier because I really do enjoy these movies. I think they are some better DreamWorks animation movies that there are. All three are solid. The third one they really did a good job with, I thought.
It was way better than I thought it would be.
Yes, I expected the second one. I expected the first one to be trash. It was fun. I expected the second one to be trash. It wasn't as good as the first, but it was still good. I expected the third one to be trash, and I actually liked it more than any of the other. So it was. I like it. They do a good job with it. The voice cast is great, like Jay said. I'll put it in the B. It's hard to put it above some of the C tier, but due to the fact that I didn't put them there, other people did. I'll put it as a B.
Richard, where would you put Kung Fu Panda?
I like all three movies. I think they put the most effort in the first one, but the other two were still solid. So I'm going to agree with Anthony. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I mean, we're going to move this around anyway, but I think it's better than a lot of these C tier movies.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good as some of the B tier, but it's still, I think, a solid, good B movie.
Before or after Godfather? Because I don't think you'll put it above Mission Impossible.
Honestly, me personally, I would put it above Mission Impossible, just because I think all three of them, the Kung Fu Pandas, are just fun movies. I can rewatch the Kung Fu Panda movies out of all these. Like, I'm not saying whether they're better. I'm saying for rewatchability, just to have fun and chill back.
Where's my marble so I can put them in my mouth? And
Thank-
but Anthony, would you put this Kung Fu Panda above Godfather or?
That is one of the most difficult things to say because I kind of want to say yes, but also it's so hard to put above The Godfather, where two of the movies are so good. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I'll leave it where it is. I'm happy where it is.
But anyway, the next franchise is going to be a Nightmare. It's also going to be on Elm Street, and Doug is our horror person. So, Doug, where would you put Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nightmare on Elm Street has 4 very good movies, and the rest of them suck. I'm just being honest. It's Freddy Krueger's just like he's a funny character, so he's iconic for being a funny character. And if we're going off of just Dream Warriors, the first movie, a New Nightmare.
Is Freddy versus Jason counting as this?
Yes,
Sadly.
Yeah,
because they're in 2 different things. They're both going to be on both.
I mean, I would argue it's counted. I mean, Freddy versus Jason is the interesting one, but they're the one they'll count for this one. And I know Friday the 13th.
It doesn't matter. Freddy versus Jason would bump up the fucking Friday the 13th franchise, where it takes down the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Let's be real here, okay?
No, you're not wrong.
I gotta put it in a. I gotta put it. It's not an E because of those movies, but I'd give it a D. I give it a D just because even if we're looking at it, I give it a high D. I put it in a high D because I think the 4 movies are really actually solid horror movies. But it's those ones that are really bad that take it down for me a lot.
Yeah. Jay, where would you put Nightmare on Elm Street?
I know one of the really bad movies that Doug is not mentioning, just out of the pure fact that he doesn't like it, is the remake.
Oh.
I didn't actually hate the remake. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. And that, coupled with the fact that I think New Nightmare is one of the best horror movies I have ever actually seen, because it takes something from an imaginary world and really does bring it into a fictionalized version of the real world. But that is some of the most imaginative filmmaking that I have seen in a long time from a lot of people who would just like to make stories over and over again. This is a C tier. This is a C tier movie for me. This is a C tier franchise for me.
So you got 1 C, 1 D. Anthony, where would you put Nightmare on Elm Street?
I know Doug is a bigger horror fan than me. I am one, but he beat me in the challenge, so I guess he gets that. He gets that for now until the next one. I'm also gonna put it in the C tier because the first Nightmare on Elm Street was absolutely fantastic. The Dream Warriors was amazing.
Way better than it had any right to be.
It didn't. It had absolutely no right to be good, and it was. And then New Nightmare came out of nowhere, just revamping a franchise, trying to revamp franchise, but creating a new way of looking at it, and it was great. I didn't like the remake. I thought it was unnecessary and just meh. But there's enough movies in there to keep it in a C tier. There are the really trash, which doesn't make it any higher, which it should be higher because Freddy Krueger is one of the best villains ever. He provides entertainment, he provides comedy, and he provides a horrifying person to haunt your dreams. But I'll put it in C.
His mother was a nun.
Oh, bitch!
Spoiler alert.
Richard, where would you put Nightmare on Elm Street?
Well, I'm looking at the C and D tiers. I think the Nightmare on Elm Street are better than the D tier movies that we have right now. So I'm going to put it in C. Because I do thoroughly love Dream Warriors, the New Nightmare, the first one. I even like Freddy vs. Jason a lot, in my opinion.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Child's not bad.
I love Freddy vs. Jason as well. Like, again,
we all
like,
brought it up, and Richard's the only one who touched on it.
Yeah.
So I love how we all brought up Freddy vs. Jason, and Richard's the only one who actually touched on it.
Because I liked it.
Dude, I saw it like 3 times in theaters, not intentionally. It just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means I think, if I remember rightly, I think there was more C's because I also probably would have put this in C as well.
As you remember, I said it's above all the D's. I put it on the higher end of D, so C's fine.
Yeah, nobody said E. We had one person who said D, and the rest said C.
Yeah,
C, yes.
Yeah. would you put it above any of the ones on C already?
No.
No, it's fine right where it's at.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hang
It's
out
fine
there.
right where it's at.
Next one we've got is hopefully Jacoby doesn't watch this because it's the Mummy franchise, and this is including the Scorpion King, but not the directed.
So not
Well,
the 5 other Scorpion King movies that
Right.
there were.
It's also including that Tom Cruise
No.
trash. It's
No.
also
Yes, it is,
including all the 50
unfortunately.
movies and the 30s.
So my question with that one is are we also including what should have started the Dark Universe? Are we including Dracula Untold?
No.
Like I know it says the Mummy, but that was the that was it was
maybe.
part of the it
I'll
was
leave that
it
up
was
to
supposed to be
Malcolm.
part of the Universal Dark Universe. That's what
mean-
it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
if that's the case, Mummy
the
should
way I-
include all of the Universal monster movies.
the way I kind of interpreted this one was that
Mhm.
it is just the Brendan Fraser ones plus the Scorpion King.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I like
fine.
that. That works.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just because it makes it easier and a little bit. But Jay, whereabouts would you put
This is solid. This is a solid pack runner for D tier. The first two are the first two are good, with the exception of the CGI in the second one, with Dwayne the Rock Johnson as the Scorpion King. That's just terrible. But Brendan Fraser and oh my god, I'm forgetting her name right now.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz do a phenomenal job. The little kid's annoying. The little brother's great. The story of the first one is phenomenal. I remember watching the first one in a movie theater in 1999, and my legs fell asleep. And it was right after the scarab scene, so I freaked out as a 9-year-old child in the movie theaters. It was great. So like,
my legs.
they literally, I yelled that at my mom. It was like it was like my first panic attack ever. And my mom was like, "Shut up! I'm trying to watch this movie." And then I was like, "My mom's not a good person." But this is straight front of the pack D tier movie.
Anthony, what do you say about the Mummy franchise?
Oh God. I know we have a lot of stuff in the C tier, but it goes there for me because I absolutely love The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Brendan Fraser in those movies is just perfection in those movies. He does a great job. He's funny. The movies themselves are fun to watch. I enjoy it. The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was kind of a downhill, and the Scorpion King it's the Scorpion King. You can't really expect brilliance. There's a reason that there's 18 DVD sequels to it because it wasn't that good and they're just trying. But I'll put it in the C tier just because Brendan Fraser is that fantastic in those movies. And I watched them when it was on Sci-Fi. I watched them like 8 times. I just put it on TV and just went through over and over again.
Richard, where would you put the Mummy?
I really liked the first two. I didn't like Dwayne the Rock Johnson in the second one. I did not like Scorpion King at all. The third one was trash. Like the third Mummy movie, I didn't see the Tom Cruise one. I don't know if that was added on there or not.
Oh.
I would say as much. I love the first. I'm going to say C, just because I love the first two so much. That even though there are 2 other bad problem movies, I never saw the Tom Cruise one, so I can't.
Don't watch it. It'll ruin everything for you.
Yeah,
Not
for
bad.
me,
Jake Johnson's good. Like
Russell Crowe's great.
Russell Crowe. That's the DC Dark Universe. That's supposed to be there.
I know.
but yeah, for me, I'm definitely going to go sort of high D for this. Doug, where would you put the Mummy?
For the first two and how much I thoroughly enjoy the first two. Katana scene, baby. Katana fight. Where they fight wearing gold paint. Yeah, I'd give this a C. I enjoy these movies a lot.
C.
I actually
Yeah.
like the Scorpion King. I'm very.
I actually like the cartoon TV show a
I
lot more
like-
than probably the second movie.
The cartoon show slaps.
Yeah.
The cartoon show slaps.
And honestly, I think it's probably good where it is on C as well.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know it was gonna hit C like that. All right.
Well, I mean, it's one of those ones like it could still drop down.
Right.
Next up, we've got Hunger Games. Richard, where would you put the Hunger Games franchise?
I like them fine. I mean, it's not like I would say C in my opinion. They're fun. I really like them all. I just like they're more like, oh my god, they're freaking amazing. Like I think Harry Potter is better than Hunger Games. Though for now, I would say C, but we can move it up later on. I didn't really have a problem with any of the Hunger Game movies.
Yeah, for the Hunger Game movies, I never really had a problem with them. I mean, the last book never didn't need to be 2 movies. But I'd happily say C. Doug, where would you put Hunger Games?
Yeah, I put that in D. It has 1 good movie, and that's about it.
Ooh.
Jay, where would you put Hunger Games?
I put it in E because it's got 1 good movie and that's about it.
Anthony, where would you put Hunger Games?
I mean, I know C's getting built up a little bit here, but we'll start moving some stuff around later. I would put it in C because Catching Fire was fantastic. The first Hunger Games it's the first Hunger Games. It's not going to be. I mean, to create a sequel that's that good, I really enjoyed the first one. The second one is really, really good. And yeah, the third one didn't need to be 2 movies, but they still did a fine job. And there were some scenes in that Christina loved it, and we saw some. And there's some scenes there where you're like, really like, no, that did not just happen, you son of a bitch. But I enjoy it. I'll put it in C.
I read the book.
I'm gonna go low C.
But yeah, but I think it's fine where it is there on
Very
C.
happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Rush Hour.
Yes.
I'm going to kick off. I like this, but it's high D for me. I don't think I can put it above anything else that's there. Doug, where would you put Rush Hour?
You don't change the radio.
You never touch a black man's radio.
Wish they all could be California girls. I love Rush Hour movies so much. Taking in account, I understand the director, very problematic. I still love these movies. All 3 of them. He won't be in Rush Hour 3.
Damn.
I gotta go B. I love these movies. I love them. You can say it's nostalgia. I watched these when I was a kid. What do you think you have? Chelsea Clinton? This movie's so good. Don't make me tell your mama.
Did he ever say a letter?
He said B.
Okay.
He said B.
I missed it
sorry.
completely.
Jay, where would you put Rush Hour?
Rush Hour is a D. It's a high D. I like these movies. There's a problematic director. The story is very similar, even for all 3 of them. It's a fish out of water story for one of them in the first one. It's a fish out of water story for one of them in the second one, and then they're both kind of fishes out of the water when they're in France in the third one. I'm cool. I don't need to see the same story over and over and over and over again. Though Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, love them together. You wipe yourself off. You got some on your face. You can go ahead and throw them in D.
Anthony, where would you put Rush Hour?
Jay, I'm going to be perfectly honest. You should be super happy that Christina's asleep because you would be getting yelled at in like 90% of these movies that you're picking.
Look, I love that ball bitch in the third one. Don't give me that, okay?
No, she loves these movies. I enjoy these movies. I think they're fun. The first one is
I
fantastic.
love these movies. I like these movies.
They're
They're
not
not
good.
better than anything else that we have in B or C.
I'll do the same. I'll put it in a high D. Please, Christina, be asleep. But
I'm having her right now.
if you wake her up and I have to deal with it, I'm coming after you. Just throwing it out.
Just playing.
No, I know. I hope to mix these things around a little bit later, but I can't see it beating anything in C that I have. So I'll put it in the high D, but for me, it's probably going above all of them.
Richard, where would you put Rush Hour?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's like 3Ds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I was kind of with Doug. Like, for the difference why I would say also B, because you weren't expecting much. You don't expect anything from these Rush Hour movies. They're just fun entertainment. Just sit down, relax. You expect a lot from Star Wars, X-Men, like all these franchises, but you don't expect. So I would also have said B because they're all 3 of them are just fun movies. I don't expect much. I sit down, entertain, and relax.
With that
You're right.
California
But
girl.
the next one we have is Rambo. This is one that I actually have to abstain from. I've not seen a Rambo movie at all. Doug,
Yikes.
where would you put Rambo?
You know exactly where these movies deserve to go. You know exactly where these movies deserve to go.
It's got, I would say, 3 really good movies. I'd put it in B.
I'd give you 2 really good.
3.
I haven't seen the last one.
Really
I
good.
haven't seen the last Rambo movie.
Jay, where would you put Rambo?
Our C's are mad crowded. And I don't think that it's better. Fuck. C. Low C. Low C. Like C minus.
Anthony, where would you put Rambo?
First one's great, but it's bad. I don't know. I would.
The second one's better than the first one.
It's fine. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not a huge Rambo fan. I'm trying to look at this without my rose-colored glasses and try to think of it outside of my own opinion here. But I enjoy Rush Hour more than Rambo, so I'm gonna go D, but a really, really, really high D, like just below Rush Hour D.
Richard.
I've never seen a Rambo movie, so I can't really judge it. I've never seen.
We have 2 abstentions. We have 2 Ds and 1 B. That would put it in C. Or we have a B, a C, and a D. That would put it in C.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll have to move some stuff around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like if anything, I was going to put it in low C anyway. But next up, we've got the Godzilla franchise, which is all of them, but they did include the MonsterVerse here, which after I googled here as well, which is the Godzilla and King of the Monsters and the Kong Skull Island. For some reason, that's considered its own franchise.
Okay, but does this include the Toho Godzillas?
Yeah, so this Godzilla is everything up to 98, but everything else after that's its own franchise.
Okay, so everything up to Roland Emmerich's Godzilla. All right.
Yeah. Which I've only seen the Roland Emmerich's Godzilla.
Oh, you're missing out on so many movies. So many movies.
So for me, it is a E.
Perfect.
But anyway, Doug, where would you put Godzilla?
Y'all ping me for Godfather, and we're gonna move this thing up anywhere past the goddamn D for that Godzilla that we got. That train wreck. The animated series was great, but that was a train wreck of a fucking movie. I'm giving it a D.
But Jay, where would you put Godzilla?
Because it includes Roland Emmerich's Godzilla D.
Anthony?
I mean, it sucks that we're going Godzilla and it includes that one terrible one, when if we're going with all of the original Japanese Godzilla movies, those things are brilliant. They are really well done. And I know they're old school and it's some dude in a big old suit, but they're fun. They're good. And then there's the Japanese versions recently, Shin Godzilla, which is also a Godzilla movie, which is a little different take on it, but it is a good movie. But then you do have Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, and it's not Godzilla King of the Monsters. So I'll stick with. I would have probably said D, but I'll probably put it in D, just because I don't know. Everyone else is. I'll stick with it. But when you think of Godzilla, please don't forget the originals.
Well, no. So you really got to take a look at it. We as Americans have looked at radiation and what it does to things way differently than the Japanese people have. Japanese people have created a monster out of it, and we have created superheroes out of it.
And the Hills.
And the Hills. Well, that based off a Scottish story. Anyways, but they got nuked in 1944, and Joseph Joestar will never forgive the Japanese. Sorry, I had to get the JoJo reference in there. But it's a really good look at what world politics will do and how they form and create movies moving forward.
But it looks like the consensus is going to be D. Richard, where would you have said for Godzilla?
I'm honestly not a fan of kaiju movies, but I'm fine with it being a D. Some of them I've seen, they're fine. But like again, like I'm just not huge in those monster movies type of deal. It's not my thing. I'm fine with it, D.
Whereabouts on D for now?
Above Night at the Museum.
I was gonna say above Meet the Fockers.
But just still above Night at the Museum. But
Yeah, it works. I'm cool with that too.
next up, we've got Die Hard.
Oh, fuck me sideways. No.
I don't know if that's good, bad. He's confused. I don't know.
Did you tell me to do something and then you said no?
Jay, where are we going for Die Hard?
This is a high E. I really like the first one. I really like the second one. The third one's okay. The fourth one's yeah. And then you still have what is it? A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah.
The fifth one with Jai fucking Courtney and they're in Russia. Yeah, no, you're a cop from Brooklyn who went to California in the first one. Calm down. No, high E. High E.
Anthony, whereabouts would you put Die Hard?
Well, due to the fact, again, on Roosing, I had this above John Wick. I will go B because the first one is absolutely brilliant. The second one is still very good after a rewatch of it. The first time I watched it, I was a big fan. Yes, it is the best Christmas movie of all time. The third one, when you watch that at first, it was fantastic. It's like watching like a puzzle the whole time, and it was awesome. The fourth one is not as bad as some people say. It's a little over the top. The fifth one is absolute trash, but that's 4 out of 5 that were good movies. So I'm putting it up there. It's probably not getting around above a C unless other people do it, but I enjoy these. I had this above John Wick before, so I still have to give it above John Wick in this. I'm not changing.
Richard, where would you put Die Hard?
I'm putting it as a C. I really love the first two. I can tolerate the third one, but the franchise just needs to die hard.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Like it just needs to stop. Like I think just the fact they keep on making movies is lowering it for me. If it was just 3 movies, I would probably put it in B, but for now it's a C.
I like the first 3. I actually don't hate the fourth one. I'm going B.
Yeah.
Doug.
What's up, guys? Yeah, no. The only one I don't like is the fifth one. So let's go B, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
This is gonna be just.
Listen, you will not you will not put a mark against against Timothy Oliphant.
I definitely think Die Hard is better than a D and an E. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it was a C.
I mean, whereabouts on B would you put it? Would you put it above Kung Fu Panda?
Nope. Not even close.
Just leave it where it is.
As much as I love Die Hard movies, I do enjoy the Kung Fu Panda movies. They are that's 3 really good movies compared to 4 good and 1 shit.
This next one's gonna break my heart.
What's the next one? How many of these we got, Malcolm? Just curious.
About a few.
Okay. There might be a point in time where I might just you might have someone else because I got to work in the morning, but I'm going to go for as long as I can.
Well, so here's the thing: is right off the bat, we can move Twilight, Sharknado. We can move Twilight, Sharknado, Shrek, and Men in Black into the E tier, and not even have to worry about it.
Okay.
We can move it into the not rating, so we don't have to rate them.
Well,
we're good.
We're
good. Actually, we're all right.
Twilight deserves to be in E tier. It deserves to be rated just so it knows that it's bad.
Anyway,
this is gonna hurt.
On the Alien franchise, Anthony, what do you say about Alien?
Oh, I gotta go first. This is bullshit. Shit. Because the first 2 are just absolute. They're so good. They're brilliant. They are some of my 2 favorite movies of all time. I love the first 2, Alien and Aliens. The third one is definitely not great. The fourth one's trash, and Prometheus is just, I don't know what they were doing. And whatever Alien Covenant 2 was, it's fine. God damn it. Stupid. Had to ruin a franchise after 2. Just like Terminator. All right. I'll go. damn, I'm just gonna throw it in the middle of C, I think, because the first two are so good, and then they just destroyed it with the rest. So I'll go C. God,
Richard, where are you going with Alien?
I'm also putting it as a C. I agree. I think Alien and Aliens are fantastic movies. Alien vs. Predator, the first two. The other two are garbage, and the other Aliens are garbage. I haven't seen Prometheus, so I think it's C.
Yeah, I've not seen Alien, so Doug, what do you say about this franchise?
I wish we could just rate the two because then it'd be S tier. I'll go C because it's the same reason that everybody else said.
Jay.
Okay, so I broke it down. I've got Alien, Aliens, Aliens 3, and Prometheus in the good column. In the bad column, I've got Alien versus Predator, Alien versus Predator Requiem, and Alien Covenant. Without these three movies right here, we're talking a high A tier.
what about Resurrection?
Oh, I gotta put that. I'm gonna put that right in the middle because there are things I like about it and there are things that I don't. Like the first half of that movie is really good, and then the last half of that movie is eh. It's a sharp decline, but that still puts more good than bad. This is a high B tier for me. It's a high B tier for me, honestly.
All right, so I mean, it's going to be C because I think there's been more C's. Whereabouts on C would people want it?
I would say above the Mummy.
Above the Mummy, Rambo, and Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
The next one's going to be quick. Is there anyone that's not putting Twilight any higher than an E?
E.
E. Put that bitch in E. Let's move. Next. Sharknado. E. Let's go. Come on. No. Just put it into E. We'll move on. Transformers deserves a D.
Wait, hold
We're
on.
fine.
I just want one thing to happen. Can we put Sharknado in front of Twilight?
Yes.
Fair.
Okay.
I will agree with that.
That's all
It's got sharks and tornadoes. He tear those shiny bitches up.
I'm not going to
I
lie.
hate you so much sometimes.
I'm not going to lie. The Twilight franchise is a guilty pleasure for me. I probably would have put it a high C.
You're the only one.
Malcolm, it is a guilty pleasure, but they are bad.
Well, as I said, it's why I didn't have a problem just throwing it in E because I knew that there's no way anyone else was going to go. But anyway, Transformers.
D.
Anthony, we would put Transformers.
The only thing with Transformers that makes me think a little higher is due to the animated movie. And I actually really enjoyed Bumblebee. I thought that was a better Transformers movie than had any.
You still have 5 movies in between that though.
But yeah, there are
5 movies in between that.
Yeah, it's probably going in. I'm not going to put it in E due to those 2 movies, but it's going in D. I'm not a fan of those.
Richard, where did you put Transformers?
I also put it in D. I love the animated. I love Bumblebee, and I actually didn't mind the first Shia LaBeouf movie. I didn't hate it, but the rest are not that great. So I would say D.
Yeah, I mean the 3 Transformers that I've seen, I actually do like. But I mean, I agree with people with D. Now, any particular place on D you would put it?
Above The Hangover and Hobbit.
I put it above Meet the Fockers, but everyone knows my hatred for that series. So
Above The Hangover and Hobbit.
Above The Hangover and Hobbit.
Next up, we've got How to Train Your Dragon.
This is
There's
high
a
A
correct
tier.
answer. Yes.
This is a very high A tier.
I would argue for maybe S tier.
See,
I will go S.
I will
If there's
love
more people in S. I will go
give
S.
me a good argument for S, and I will say high A. Yes, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is one of my favorite movies on learning how to deal with loss of a parent, but it also kind of emotionally undercuts that by bringing the other parent back.
And I also say How to Train Your Dragon 3 is letting go, losing your part of your family for the greater good, in a sense, like the dragon.
It is the perfect trilogy of animated films. It has a perfect opener, has a perfect middle, has a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Fair. Like I said, all I needed is a good argument. I'll say S. It was a high A for me regardless. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I think it would have been S regardless because I would have said S as well. Anthony, where would you have gone?
I don't know about S, but it would have gone A. I love this trilogy. I think it's a great trilogy. It's very fun. It's really well done. I would definitely put it at least high A. I might not have put it above Marvel and the Batman, but it is a really good trilogy, and I'm perfectly good. If it's up there, it's up there. But it was going to me one way or another.
Whereabouts on S?
It's fine where it's at. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine right there.
We know what Jay would put in front of, but he's not winning that battle, so it's fine.
That's why I'm not going to argue.
I've stopped arguing for Bond a while ago.
Next up, we've got Star Trek.
Whew. Giving those movies way too much credit.
Anthony,
I might have to go with Jay on this one because if we're going back to the original motion picture, we're going to the Wrath of Khan. We're going to Star Trek 2009, which was really good. I actually enjoyed Beyond. Into Darkness was fine. It had some issues. Everyone knows it. But it has.
It's not the Wrath of Khan, but it is the Wrath of Khan.
It's the Wrath of Khan, but not Wrath of Khan. It's the Wrath of Smog. So
Wrath of Smog, I love it.
Love it.
It's I think a B's good for Star Trek because those classics are classic and they are forever like just going to be in time.
You like the classics, I guess. 4 through 6 are trash in my opinion. Everything from the Next Generation is trash. This movie is at best I'd give it a C. Just because those other movies, they drag so much, and when you have to watch them for fandom, you learn to hate these movies.
That's not true.
I hate watching these movies.
Dragging and you like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Wait, am I just we're on the same page here?
No, see, there's dragging, and then there's interesting.
And then
there's interesting script and beautiful scenery.
Walking on grass.
Right, so we've got 2 B's, a C. Richard.
I am also going to give it a B. I think Star Trek 6 and Into Darkness are the weakest, and Star Trek Insurrection is just forgettable.
The motion picture is the weakest out of the original trilogy. Wrath of Khan is obviously one of the greatest movies in science fiction history. The 4 generation movies, they're okay. They're okay. It's completely different. You have to learn how to like those movies. Yeah. I have recently just watched all of them. I don't like them. I don't like those. But my love of the first 6 and the last 3 outweigh my dislike for the other 2. I'm sorry, Richard. I didn't mean to step over you.
That's fine.
I probably would have argued for C myself, but B was the majority. Whereabouts on C would you go?
Good where it is.
Right where it's at.
What is it?
I'm not putting it above the best movie of all time.
Next up, we've got Shrek. I'm going to go high D for Shrek. Doug.
Hurt my feelings. I give Shrek a B. Shrek 4 kind of really hurts it for me. 3's decent. Shrek 2 is a fucking masterpiece. And Shrek 1 is amazing.
Shrek 1 on VHS is the best movie ever.
Shrek 1 on VHS. For that comment, I'm giving it an A.
Oh, you're fucked!
Jay, we were going to put Shrek.
I really like the first 2. The third one has actually like a really special place in my heart because I had father issues throughout my entire fucking life. So to see Justin Timberlake be able to do that and have that little special moment ruined when he's sitting around the fucking campfire talking about the little birdie and shit. Like, I loved that. That was great. They undercut it, but there are so many fucking fart jokes in here. Like, this movie re-kicked off the Counting Crows fucking career. What are you about to say, Doug?
And in the morning, I'll make him
waffles. This would be a high D for me. There's a lot here because look, you gotta take into consideration Shrek Forever After. You also gotta bring Puss in Boots in.
True.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
Yep.
forgot.
You gotta
that's a
bring
thing.
Puss in
Yeah,
Boots
no, it's
in.
going to a D.
It's got to be a
I'm
D,
changing
dog.
it's a D. I'm changing my vote. Oh shit, I forgot that movie was a thing.
But Anthony, where do you put Shrek? I can't remember. I asked you.
It's going high D, low C. I'll do high D because the first two are brilliant. Like they're great. Bringing in Puss in Boots in the second movie, he was fantastic as Antonio Banderas was great in it. But then they made the spinoff and it was horrible. Like
Trash.
like come on, get real. And the third one was okay, and like everyone said, the fourth one was awful. So high D, I'll give it that because the first two really were very.
So it looks like consensus is going to be in high D.
It's fine right there.
I mean,
It's fine.
I also forgot about Puss in Boots. It would have been a D as well because I really liked the first two. I liked the third one, but it kind of went downhill after when Shrek had the kids, and Puss in Boots the Puss in Boots and Donkey got tiring, even though it got old quick.
I think it's good where it is.
Next up, we've got Matrix.
Hey.
Doug.
Did you just say A? It's got one fantastic movie and the other two are trash. They're hot garbage. They were like, oh, let's go shit on a page and give a bunch of special fucking effects to the thing and then not even give good special effects. Fuck you for that, A. That's a shit movie. It's going E. Fuck that shit. Even with as great as The Matrix is, it's a fucking Superman story and they fuck it up. Fuck you. Give me 4 and make
Superman's
it better.
a Jesus story. The Bible did it first, dog.
But Superman did it better.
Spoiler alert: Superman was not included as a franchise for some reason. Jay, you said A.
I would give this a low A. I'm not gonna lie. You have to look at this. You have to look at the story from a whole, not just the movies. You have to look at the story from a whole. It's one of the first real trans stories that you've gotten to see on screen. The Wachowskis did an amazing job. It redefined an entire genre of science fiction. They created bullet time for this specifically. Yes, it's a high A for me. It's a low A for me. I'm sorry.
Jay is still in the Matrix.
So we've got an
1 out of 3.
So we've got an A from Jay. We've got, was it a D that you said, Doug?
E. He said E. I got you, Doug. Don't worry. We don't agree, but I got you, baby.
Anthony, where would you put The Matrix?
I mean, I'd throw it in the C because the first one really is very, very good, and then the other two are just utter trash. The first one came out of nowhere and was, I'm sure it's a Superman story. It is what it is, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was different. They had some really good graphics. They did a good job with all of it. The second two were just absolutely bad, but first one enough, so I'll throw it in the C.
Richard, where would you
Question: is the Animatrix in this?
I mean, Animatrix is more 6 shorts, so I'm
Okay.
I would try to say no, just because
I really love the first one. The other two are garbage. Though I will give it a C just because the freeway scene in the second one was kind of cool as well. Even though the movie was garbage, the freeway fighting scene was really cool.
Which means this is going to be interesting because I would give it I'm with Jay on this. I would give it an A. I'm a defender of Reloaded and Revolutions.
Why?
I'm a defender of one of those movies.
Why?
But I mean, because we've sort of got two tied. Doug's stuck on an E. I think it's C is probably.
That closes out our C tier list.
Yeah. We'll move.
I mean, it's already been closed as there's been 9, so it would. Well, that's the thing. Do you want to put? Would you put Matrix over any of those?
I would move X-Men to B tier. Honestly, if we're gonna talk right now, the only one in there that can't really get an argument for none of those movies in C tier have a better movie than Logan, and it's only helped by a couple of the other movies in the front.
Aliens.
Still not as good as Logan.
I mean, I agree
I
with.
I would move Logan to B.
I don't agree with that, but X-Men is better than Aliens as a whole. So if we move one up to B, I'm better with X-Men than Aliens. So that would be fine with me.
I'm okay with X-Men moving up to B tier.
And where would you put it? Above?
Above.
I kind of want to put it
Above Die Hard. I'd
Above
put
Die
it
Hard.
above. I'd put it above Die Hard, but I think Kung Fu Panda is still better because there aren't any bad Kung Fu Panda movies, whereas there are bad X-Men movies.
Anyway, my question was, with The Matrix, would you put it above anything there, or just leave it where it is behind Rambo?
I put it
It's
above.
fine.
There it is.
I'd put it above Rambo. I like more of the Matrix movies. than I like the
Rambo. Yeah,
movies.
Rambo's good.
But I also didn't think that the Hunger Games should be above Rambo. So
Um,
Right all the time.
with that, we move on to Friday the 13th. Richard, where would you put Friday the 13th?
I would put it in E tier. I just wasn't a fan of the. I honestly not a fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. Like it's like the
friendship over.
only one I really like is Freddy vs. Jason. But honestly, like I mean, I'm sure mine will be disagreed. I think it's E tier for me. I'm not a fan.
So for me, Friday the 13th, I would probably put high D, low C. I'm going to stick with high D. I like the first one. I'm a defender of Jason X. I think it's a fun movie. But there's really not.
Slaps.
You're a what?
That movie slaps.
You're a what?
Doug, where would you put Friday the
Movie
13th?
slaps our fans in their fucking
That
face.
movie slaps. Listen, Friday the 13th only has one bad movie in it. I don't care what anybody says.
You are high.
What? I like all of them except for one. Now, realistically, Friday the 13th clicked like really gave one of the best endings in a horror movie in a long time. Like it's you didn't see it coming. No one saw anybody that saw it the first time. It didn't get ruined for them. Nobody saw Pamela Voorhees as the villain.
You're not.
I think I honestly would give, because there's a few of them that are really good. I really enjoy a few of them.
Doug loves robot nipples.
Robot nipples. Yo, when he 3D simulates a cramped Crystal Lake and he puts the cheerleaders in sleeping bags and just whacks them against the tree, it's hilarious. I can't help but laugh because he doesn't know that he's doing anything wrong. He's like, hey, they're just bad people. I'm gonna beat them and kill them. I'm gonna go in the same place as Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm gonna say mid C's.
Jay, where would you put Friday the 13th?
I'd put it at a high D, low C.
Anthony, where would you put Friday the 13th?
Yeah, same. High D, low C. The first one's great. Second one's fine. Freddy vs. Jason's fun, but you still have to put the remake in there, and that was terrible. And I don't know why Jason's a friggin' slug or something, worm going in and out of people. That's ridiculous. So we'll put it in the D tier for me.
Richard, where were you putting Friday the 13th?
Oh, I said E, but I'm fine with it going to D. I'm fine with it being a D.
Yeah, so it sounds like I think we've got more D's than C's. Is there fine, or would you?
Honestly, I kind of think it's The Hobbit's better than Friday the 13th.
Yikes. I would.
like Rush Hour better than Friday the 13th.
That's comparing two genres, and that's really difficult to do. There are more movies in the Friday the 13th franchise that I like than I do the Rush Hour franchise. I'm fine with where Friday the 13th is.
I'm good either way. Either way would be fine.
Yeah, let's put it at the higher end.
Next up, we've got Men in Black. Doug.
My mouth is on it. I'm gonna go ahead and say
You know exactly where this deserves to go.
I mean, where it deserves to go and where it deserves to go in my heart is two different things. Knock your punk ass down.
NYPD.
I'm gonna put it in C.
Jay, where are you going to put Men in Black?
Well, as soon as you move Resident Evil, Narnia, Sharknado, and Twilight to F, where they deserve to be, it deserves to be an E.
Resident Evil is not an F.
Well,
Resident
Evil not an F.
Resident Evil is the only one that can be argued for to stay in E. It deserves to be an E because Men in Black, the first one, is the only good one.
The reason I made the F tier is just if we needed it really.
Yeah, it's the Sakura tier.
Yeah, so it's basically like Twilight and Sharknado will probably end up being pushed down into it anyway.
Probably.
So yeah.
He's fine with me.
But Anthony, whereabouts would you put Men in Black?
I'm probably going to throw it in the middle of the D tier. I enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the third one. I think they actually did a really good job with time travel and made it very interesting. The second one was awful, and International just completely destroyed the franchise.
It's called Men in Black Intentional.
Men in Black intentionally destroying the franchise. So putting it in D somewhere. I like the first and third enough to not put it in A.
Richard, where would you put Men in Black?
I would also put in the D tier. I like Anthony. I really like the first and third one. The International is just absolutely hot garbage. The second one I liked, but there were problems that I can understand the problems.
I'm also going to put it into here.
Cool. Let's move The Hangover and The Hobbit down to E.
Well, I was about to say The Hobbit would have definitely gone down there anyway.
You know I'm putting Men in Black in front of Meet the Fockers, but I don't know if anyone else is agreeing with
It's fine with me.
It's fine with it.
I mean, I would put it above Transformers at least.
Any objections to in front of Transformers?
Works fine.
No, that's fine.
Next up is another. It's going to be another interesting franchise. It's the Fast and the Furious. Anthony, whereabouts would you put Fast and the Furious?
I know we have an S tier. Do we have a God level tier to throw there?
Oh my God!
What
Essentially, S is our cultural tier.
I'm 100% joking. I hope Kay knows that I'm just messing with that. I love these movies, though. Me and my friends have just an obsession with these movies. It's great. I watched this on my wedding day before I got married. We watched Fast and Furious 1 and drank Corona. It was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why? It was a great time. So I'm actually I'm not putting it in A. That's ridiculous. But I'm not putting it in C. I'm going to put it in the B tier because there are some fantastic movies in this franchise. Tokyo Drift is awful. And obviously, people don't know the first name of the lead guy. So, but the first one is a lot of fun. And then after like 4, 5, 6, 7, like they get really, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious was a little rough. But bringing Jason Statham in, I enjoy it. I'm putting it in B because I like these movies. They entertain the crap out of me. It's going.
Richard, where are you going to put?
I have not seen Hobbs and Shaw, so I can't based on that. I did not like the 8th one. 7th one I thought was okay. It was still kind of a nice goodbye to Paul Walker. Second one's forgettable. The third one was not good. The 4th one's also forgettable. I'm going to say C tier. I can't say. I just don't think it's good enough for B or A tier yet. But it's still enjoyable. It's not bad. They're fun movies.
I've rewatched some of these because I'm writing a Fast and Furious Formula Random match. I actually enjoy this. I'm actually inclined to say B. But Doug, you're going to be in the centre match. Whereabouts would you put Fast and Furious?
Okay, Doug's putting an E tier.
Yeah, we're done.
I don't care if everybody hates me. This is a motherfucking A tier for me.
All right, well, let's just ignore that. I mean, it's probably not. But it's
Jay, whereabouts would you put Fast and Furious?
Tokyo Drift still exists.
You hear it, folks. Doug wants the next Fast and Furious take place in the Lord of the Rings franchise.
God, maybe they'll get somewhere. They can drive.
Even with that, I really like the first one. Back when they were stealing DVD VCR combos out of the back of Separax because that movie came out in 2001. I really enjoyed Tokyo Drift. I don't care what anybody actually has to say. That's one of my favorites.
His name is Lucas Black, by the way.
Yeah. His name's Sean in the movie. And I love Hobbs and Shaw. Actually, I walked in thinking that I didn't need a Hobbs and Shaw movie because I didn't like the character of Hobbs or Shaw. And they added Idris Elba and they made him fucking Black Superman. That is the best Fast and Furious movie out there. That being said, it's still only a D tier for me.
So
acceptable.
Me and Ebony said B. Doug said S. And there's a
I said
two
A.
Ds.
I said C.
But to get it to that B, I'll move it to an S.
I think it is
Bless you.
I'm just trying to sort of think of where to put this because I think so.
I would say it's above the Mummy. But wait,
wasn't this a B?
yeah, that was a B. Because you had two Bs.
I put
If I gotta move my ranking
there.
to a S, I will move it to a B.
right there. Yep.
Yeah.
I would move Star Trek above Die Hard. That's just me.
We'll worry about that later.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Because I got a little bit of time. I'm gonna have to make my way because I gotta get some sleep.
Make my way downtown.
Walk
Next
in
up,
fast.
actually, I'll get some quick ones out the way. Alvin and the Chipmunks.
E.
E. F. F or E.
Oh, I would go F. Actually, I don't like those movies.
I mean, as I said, I put
we'll
F.
throw it in the E.
I liked the Squeakquel and I liked Chipwrecked. That's the thing.
It can go above Twilight.
Yeah. It can go up the Hobbit for all I give a fuck.
Fuck that.
Fuck the Hobbit.
The Cars trilogy.
Let's go ahead and just drop that in F right now. None of us are named Caleb Coho. None of us are named Caleb Coho. Those movies are trash.
I like the first one and the third one. The second one's hot garbage.
Yeah,
you also have to take into consideration Planes.
I would.
Okay.
It goes above
So
Narnia.
no.
It goes above
I would
Narnia.
say D.
I mean, it's one of those. If
It goes above Twilight.
Goes above Twilight. Would you
Okay.
put it above anything else?
I put it
No.
above Narnia, but that's
I would
just.
put it above Alvin and the Chipmunks at least.
Nope.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Jason Bourne can go in the F. It's fine. Terminator can go in D. It's fine. There were two good ones. Mad Max, same thing. It can go in D. There's one good one, and Beyond Thunderdome also exists.
I mean, yeah.
You will not
Hold on.
bescroach Tina Turner like that.
Bescroach?
Anyway,
I don't know what word I was looking for.
I mean, I
I think we're looking for besmirch, but
I mean,
I would still bescroach. Let me grab my scrotum right quick. I will
I mean-
bescroach Tina Turner.
I mean, I only did
Yikes.
I only did those ones quickly because I know that people don't like the media. But anyway, Jason Bourne. Doug, where would you put Jason Bourne?
I put Jason Bourne as C. I like his films just fine. I don't think they're like anything spectacular. And then you have to go and kind of take the last two in effect too, and it kind of ruins the trilogy for me.
Jay, where would you put Jason Bourne?
Solid F tier.
Ebony, where would you put Jason Bourne?
Not really a big fan. I would put it in D tier.
Richard?
I would say D tier.
Cool. I'll move my vote to D tier too.
I mean, I would have said D tier as well.
I'd probably put it above The Hangover, but that's about it.
Put it above the Hangover, which
I
knocks
don't know, maybe, but I don't know. I don't
which
know.
knocks Hangover down to E.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I've got Terminator. Ebony, where would you put the Terminator franchise?
I would also put that in D because there's two absolutely fantastic movies and 4 trash.
Richard?
I might even put it lower, even though I'll say D, because Terminator Genesis actually made Terminator 2 invalid now. It's not like they took its best movie and say it doesn't exist now anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I've said this before. I would put this E. I'm not a big fan of any of the Terminators. Doug?
I'm a fan of the first and second one and not a fan of any of the other ones. I really actually strongly dislike all the rest of them. I'll put it at E2.
Jay, where would you put Terminator?
Look, if James Cameron's gonna make 2 movies and they're spread across a decade of release, these are the 2 movies I'm gonna watch from James Cameron. The other fucking 4 don't exist in my eyes. E tier.
And whereabouts on the
Below.
E tier?
Below
Above
Resident
Hangover.
Evil.
Above? No. That's above The Hobbit, at least.
Just off of 1 and 2 alone.
Yes.
All right.
1 and 2 alone is above The Hobbit.
I mean, I
Probably
agree with
above the
below
Hangover.
Resident Evil myself. I mean, I personally put them below Twilight, but that's just me.
There's still 2.
Now, you want to have a job on the internet, right? I would stop saying things like that.
Yeah. It's
Anyway, on to Mad Max. Like I only marginally like Fury Road, so I'm actually going to say D. Doug.
I like Thunderdome and I like Fury Road, but I'd still say it's probably gonna deserve to be in a D tier.
Jay.
There are good 2 movies in this franchise. One of them is Shiny and Chrome, and then the other is Thunderdome. D is fine.
Anthony.
Yeah, I'm good with D. I love Fury Road. The other ones are fine.
Richard.
I've only seen Fury Road and I hated it, so I'm okay with D though.
That's surprising.
I
thought it was Waterworld in the desert.
You're
I
not wrong.
have a theory
You're
that they
not
both
wrong.
take place in the same universe.
You're probably
Whereabouts
right.
on D would you put it?
Right where you have it.
Yep,
What,
that's
do I
fine.
have it? Which knocks
Yeah,
Jason
sure.
Bourne down to there.
Yeah.
Where it should rightfully be.
This might go quickly. Ice Age.
E.
E.
E. Above Narnia.
As much as I truly enjoy some of the characters from those movies, I don't like the movies in general.
Yes.
E.
I put it behind.
Voice acting's really good in those.
E's fun. It's just I couldn't tell them apart. Like I couldn't tell you which movie.
Yeah.
The Underworld franchise.
Ooh.
There are 2.5 good movies in this
4 good
franchise.
movies.
There are 2.5 good movies in this franchise.
4 is the only really kind of bad one. Rise of the Lycan's fucking great.
I mean,
It's a straight to DVD movie that they gave a
it's
budget
not.
to.
No, it's not. Sit down with that high tone.
but anyway, I think
Heidi.
Heidi, Anthony,
Yeah, I'm putting it above Rush Hour.
above Rush Hour. Richard,
I would agree above Rush Hour.
yeah, I'll put it there.
Here's the only other good thing that has going for it: Kate Beckinsale in a fucking PVC suit.
That's the reason it's above an F.
Hey, facts.
All right, next up we've got the Monsterverse, which is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Skull Island.
I was wondering what that was.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Skull Island.
And- Yeah,
You've got one
E.
good movie in there. And they don't even focus on the best part of those movies. Nobody watches those movies for the humans. They watch it for the monsters, and you don't get enough of it. E.
we're anyone else any objection?
I've only seen the original King Kong, and I used to love that movie when I was a kid. I would rewatch it over and over. That's the only one I liked.
I agree, E, because I did enjoy Kong Skull Island. I did enjoy King of the Monsters. The first Godzilla was too much human interaction. That's not what, like Jay said, it's not what I'm there for. I want monsters. That's what I'm watching this for. I'm excited for Kong vs. Godzilla, but we'll see.
So am I, but we can revisit this list and revisit that one specifically when that movie comes out, and we have all seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, whereabouts?
Oh,
Above the
Definitely.
Hangover.
yeah.
I would put it above The Hangover.
Yeah, I like these movies better than that. I feel like we got into Terminator really ruined itself.
Next up,
Really fine words out.
What the fuck are you doing?
next up, we've got the Oceans franchise.
A.
Hey,
I'll give it a
Does
B.
this include the originals?
No, it's only the 11, 12, and 13.
Yeah, but
Well,
Ocean's
So
Ocean's
it doesn't include the Frank Sinatra version. Doesn't include the Rat Pack version. That's what I'm asking.
I'm not going to include the Effects and Archer version. I would
Oh, then
tentatively
B.
include 8. I would tentatively include 8.
Oh,
though.
8. I still say A because
I'd say D. High D. ID's a really
I'd say
I
B.
would also say A because I just think the second one's the most forgettable, but they're still all three of the originals are solid, and I really
They're
like
good. They're good heist movies.
yes.
really good
they're-
heist movies.
Yeah, I'm also leaning towards high B.
Under Kung Fu Panda, above X-Men.
Yes. Agreed. I like that.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, right there. Perfect.
I mean, for this group of people, everyone would assume the Geek Fetros would be like the S down to A, so it's gonna be people are gonna be shocked with this.
I mean, I'm really ruining a lot of these geek friends.
We've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which
Bottom
is
of
the
A.
original.
You said bottom of E?
Bottom of A.
No,
Yeah.
I mean here's the thing.
Their
for me,
worst movies are
I love the first two '90s movies. The second one's can't be sold. Third one was crappy. The Michael Bay ones are not great, but the animated one was really good. So
Yeah,
I
the
would
best
say,
one.
it's definitely not an E. It's definitely not a D. I would say C.
So we've got 1C, 1E. Anthony,
I'm putting this right below Rush Hour, I think. Indeed.
Wow. All right, so
Um,
here's the thing. We're gonna go ahead and just drop this into E because I'm putting this in F. There's only one good movie out of all of the Ninja Turtles movies, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. You can't really sully the bad name of the animated movie with the rest of them because it's the best fucking animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie out there, except for Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we're not talking about that. So it goes
that
in
movie's
F.
great. The movie's great
Wait, why aren't we talking about that? That counts.
because it's not theatrically released.
Wait,
Yeah.
TMNT was theatrically released. Yes, it
No,
was.
no, he's talking
Oh,
about that.
no. Batman versus Ninja Turtles was not theatrically released. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
I'm
was-
saying we're not going to besmirch the good name of the TMNT
Yeah.
animated movie. So F, yes, we'll drop it into
Um,
E, and you can put Narnia into F, and you can put TMNT at the end of E.
Fine. Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
I mean, it may end up going there with this next one because it's the DCEU.
Hmm.
I'm actually inclined to go middle of B above Men in Black.
Oh, I thought. Wait, did you say middle of? Oh, I thought you said
It's-
middle of
it's-
D, and I was about to have some serious work.
Doug, where would you put DCEU?
Come on, restore my faith in humanity, baby. Restore my faith in humanity. Let's go. Come on. You know right where this movie. You know right where this goes. You know right where this goes.
I mean, I don't think it deserves to be above Rambo. There's too many flops in that movie. It's got literally 2 good movies. You can't count extended cuts.
Well, what I was about to say is it wouldn't be above Rambo anyway, so Rambo's in C at the moment.
No, I would put it at the end of C. I would put it.
Oh, you'd put it at the end of C,
Yeah, I'd
Which-
give it a C.
which
just
means
because-
it would have it'll be.
It'll.
it'll-
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Jay, where would you put DCEU?
There are 8 movies. I'll give that the credit that it deserves.
Man of Steel. Batman.
So good. You've got Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, Man of Steel, and we will fight on that all day. We can fight on that all day. And Birds of Prey's right in the middle. I don't like the fucking fight scenes in that movie. I don't like the fact that they just hired Obi-Wan Kenobi to say the word fuck as much as they possibly could. The rest of them are bad. This is high C, low B for me. Yes, because Narnia sucks, Holzman.
Not saying none of that.
So Jay said high C, low B. Me and Doug said D. Richard, you said D as well, didn't you?
No, I haven't said anything yet.
I haven't said anything.
I love Shazam and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I think Birds of Prey is good. I'm gonna say C because the only one I really don't like was the theatrical version of Batman v Superman and Man of Steel.
Anthony, what about you?
I'll put it in the C because, like they said, I did like Birds of Prey. I liked Shazam. I liked Man of Steel was fine. I wasn't a huge fan, but I liked it. Justice League and Batman v Superman were really, really bad. So I'll put it in C, probably above Rambo because Shazam and Wonder Woman were good enough to put it above that.
Hear me out.
But other than that, I think the other ones just bring it down too far.
Hear me out. I think this franchise deserves to go above the Hunger, and we can move Rambo down to a D tier.
I'm cool with that.
I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Yep. And Rambo's down to D.
Can we just make it the Matt Reeves ones?
No.
Please.
No.
Come on.
Doug,
Such
where would you
shitty
put
fucking clay. Oh. It's a fucking D tier because we got to include the fucking shitty classics in the fucking 2001.
Jay, where would you put Planet of the Apes?
This is a high C, low B for me, baby, because of the shitty classic ones. But you also have to bring in Tim Burton. Because you also have to bring in Tim Burton. It lowers it down. I like the first 3 Apes movies. I really do. And then I like the Matt Reeves. I don't like the Tim Burton one. And then like 2 fucking Planet of the Apes movies that should have been direct to DVD or direct to VHS or direct to video weren't. Because that wasn't a thing yet. So yeah, high C.
Anthony, where would you put
I'll go
Planet
with
of the
Jay.
Apes?
See, I enjoyed the classics. They're good, and some like 1 or 2 of them are rough in there, but they have the classics that are better than you would think. These ones are fantastic. All 3 of them are great, and you have to move it up. Even though Tim Burton's was that bad, you have to move them up because Matt Reeves just revamped the entire franchise and remade it to brilliance.
All right, I'll move mine up to C.
Up there.
What? No, we're not going to colonize you.
The only 2 Planet of the Apes movies I don't like is Conquest of the Planet of the Apes and the Tim Burton one. So I would also say C.
Whereabouts on C?
Above Hunger Games, and you can move Matrix to D.
Ooh, man, the Matt Reeves ones, I would put.
I'd put it above. I'd put it above Nightmare.
I would agree. I'd put above.
You're crazy for that one. I'm not going to argue with you.
There are worse Nightmare movies than there are Planet of the Apes movies minus Tim Burton.
Fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair. You're not wrong. You're really not.
Can we only include the first one?
All right.
Can we only include the first one and not include any of the sequels or the other series?
Oh God, this just dropped.
No. Anthony, where would you put Jurassic Park?
God damn it. The first one is so much brilliance. And I'm putting it in, I think, E, because goddamn, Lost World was fun the first time I watched it. The second time through, you realize how bad it is. Jurassic Park 3 is terrible. Jurassic World, really not that good. And Fallen Kingdom is, God, why?
Garbage.
So it's going in E. I'm not putting it in F just yet because the first Jurassic Park is an absolutely brilliant movie. But you got 4 in a row, back to back that ruin it.
Richard, where would you put Jurassic Park?
I have not seen Fallen Kingdom. The only Jurassic Park I really liked was the first one. The others were not great. I would say E or F. So I'll go with E for Anthony. Just because the first one was really good.
People know my taste. I actually like a lot of the Jurassic Park movies. I'm actually going to say B. But Doug, I know you said E, didn't you?
Yeah, we're gonna put it in E because.
Jay,
where would you have gone with?
I just did that.
Handy dandy flowchart. Good. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park 2. Jurassic World. Meh. Jurassic Park 3. Bad. None of them are really bad. What is terrible is Fallen Kingdom, though. That movie's just terrible. You can go ahead and just.
Jurassic Park 3 is terrible.
Jurassic Park 3 is not terrible. It's also not bad. Half of that story is good. The rest of it is which makes it a meh, which means that E is fine.
I would love. All right, I feel bad about saying E now, but I'm not winning this battle because I would put that above Meet the Fockers, put Meet the Fockers in E, and put Jurassic Park up in the D and put it above it. I know you would. But that's
fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, trust me. Don't let my opinion sway anyone because or else they're.
Oh no, that's what we want. We want swayed opinion.
But the next one is I can't believe they put this one here because there's only 2 movies. Finding Nemo.
Can't we just call it Pixar? We'll separate Toy Story and Pixar.
I like how they have Nemo, but they
So
don't
there's
have
also
Saw.
Cars.
Saw, I think, should be on here.
Oh, they have Cars too. Never mind.
but
I think Pixar should have been one whole.
but anyway,
series.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be
should have, but they didn't. But Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Richard, where would you put it?
I liked Finding Nemo. I haven't seen Finding Dory, so I would. I will abstain from this because I can't honestly give a.
I mean, for me personally, I would. I mean, I like Nemo, but Dory does drag it down. I would probably put it at the top of E tier, above Meet the Fockers. Jay.
That's exactly where I was actually going to say to put it above Meet the Fockers, drop The Hobbit down to F tier. The first one's great. I like I like several of the characters in the second one, but the second one's It's the same story, just rehashed. I'm cool.
And Anthony, would you have been fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, I really liked the first one. Finding Dory was fine, but it definitely wasn't as good. So I'm good with that. That works.
But anyway, this is the only one that I will say that I will count straight to DVD ones. Is the whole Pokemon franchise.
Hey.
Anthony, where would you put
It's a
Pokemon?
strong A tier.
You just leave me out of this one. I got nothing on this.
Richard, where would you put Pokemon?
The first 3 of the originals, Pokemon the movie, Pokemon 2000, and the Entei one, really good. Detective Pikachu is great, but the rest of the Pokemons are not great. I would say a B tier, maybe, because they're still fun.
Yeah. I'm with Jay. I'd put it in A. Doug?
I have to abstain because I've only seen the first 3.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And I've seen I've seen the first 2 in Detective Pikachu.
You've seen some of the best ones. I'm not gonna lie. It personally, I'd say it goes above Spider. That's just it. There are more of those. There are more Pokemon movies, and it's just on its own. I like Pokemon more than I like Rocky, but I like the Rocky franchise more than I like the Pokemon franchise. I would say put Pokemon before Spider-Man, and we'd be fine.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
Next up, and before anyone makes a joke about putting it in the high seas, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's not making the high seas for me.
Hey.
The views and opinions of
The views and opinions expressed by Anthony Tisdale are not shared by all people who are on the panel.
Oh no, I know. I think
95% of my opinions are not shared by the people on the panel.
No, what I was about to say is I think Dag was about to say the views and opinions of Caleb Coe does not reflect everyone's opinions of the
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Doug, where would you put Pirates of the Caribbean?
the first movie's so good. Actually, the first 3 movies I really
I was gonna say the
enjoy a
first
lot.
3.
It's after that it kind of drops down. I'd have to put it in the C's. No pun intended, but I really would have to put it in the C's.
Say it.
I'm gonna put it in the high C's.
Thank you.
Jay, where would you put Pirates of the Caribbean?
He said hi. I'll go middle. We'll go middle C's.
Anthony, where would you put Pirates of the Caribbean?
Low C's probably. The first one's really good. Second 2 are fine. Fourth one is horrible, and the fifth one is Javier Bardem's in it. So there's that.
Not bad.
Richard, where would you put Pirates of the Caribbean?
I would put it in the mid C's, but it would be better if it was rated R.
Solid fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be C's regardless.
About Planet of the Apes.
About Planet of the Apes.
Yep, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
How many do we have left? We've
Three?
got 3 more.
Roll these. You get some food.
So, do we want to start moving things up tiers rather than moving it all down?
No, we know where Anthony wants to put things, so let's rock these last 3, and then we can move it around, and we can have somebody argue for Anthony on James Bond.
Um,
It's not moving much, I know. Yeah, it's fine.
I'll start from the back. Despicable Me.
F.
F.
Oh.
It's got minions in it. Fuck
It's
you.
got
It's
minions.
F.
Yeah, F. Okay, I forgot about Minions. My bad.
And even the
Um,
Despicable Me, the real trilogy, were just okay at best.
It's
The first two are really good, and
yeah,
then
that's
you
good.
have
Above Narnia. Above Narnia.
Yeah. above
the first two
Narnia.
are really good. Yeah, okay. I'm good.
Madagascar.
I low-key love these movies. The second one's really bad. The third one's shockingly good.
I'd give it.
Mm.
I'd give it a C.
I'd give it an E. Actually, I'll change it. I'll give it an E. Benedict Cumberbatch not being able to say the word penguins in the third one cracks me up. I'm not gonna lie. For that alone,
that was the spinoff.
was it the spinoff? Oh,
third one
was it
was
the Penguins movie?
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
I would
Penguins of Madagascar does count in this.
Yeah, I still like that.
No, I was just
Yeah.
mislabeling a movie. I think that's what he's correcting me on. It would still be an E for me though.
I would put it above. I actually enjoy these movies, so I put. Take a wild guess which one I'm putting it above.
You're gonna put it above Meet the Fockers.
Yes, I am.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
It's
I'm fine with that.
It's not better than Finding Nemo, though.
And last one is Indiana Jones. I think the strength of the original trilogy alone, despite Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I'm saying A. Doug.
A.
J.
I don't like Temple of Doom, but it's way better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Let's go ahead and do ourselves a favor. Let's move that to A, and let's move the MCU up to S.
I am 100% on board with that. The fourth one is terrible. I'm with you, Jay. I don't like Temple of Doom nearly as much as some people do. I like the other two a lot. So, yeah, I'm good with that going A. MCU going to the S tier. I just couldn't figure out one that I really wanted, but Marvel needs to go there.
Any particular place on A?
John West.
Right behind The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Right behind,
Yes.
right behind Batman, but above Rocky. Yes.
I like that.
And any
Yeah,
particular
probably.
place from MCU?
MCU, you know exactly where it's got to go. Put that bitch at the fucking forefront. If we're gonna move it up to S class, we got to give the fucking franchise the respect that it deserves. It goes above the Lord of the Rings. You can move the Lord of the Rings if you want. You can move Back to the Future between Lord of the Rings and Toy Story, but Marvel, the MCU is going to be the top of the S tier class.
Especially when we're have to regard 23 movies versus the most Lord of the Rings has 3, most Toy Stories 4, 3. Yeah, I agree.
All right, so our S tier final is MCU. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, S tier is locked because that's got 5 now.
Yep.
Good.
So A tier's got 6.
I think that's a solid A tier, though. I don't think if we start adding more there, we're
That's
Well, I was
a
about to say,
solid.
it's like, because we'd have to start from the top of B, and I don't think there's anything from B I would move into A personally.
The only thing from B I would move into A is Kung Fu Panda, but that's because all 3 of those movies slap. And I would move Star Trek up. I would move Kung Fu Panda into A, and I would move Star Trek into the position where that's at, and then I would move X-Men into the Ocean's 11 position. That's just me personally.
I'm okay with moving Star Trek above Fast and the Furious and X-Men swapping with Ocean's 11 and Star Trek swapping probably, but I don't know. I don't hate it because there's
Anyone else, but other than that, it's like, anyone else want to move anything?
Move anything from B to A, or?
Well, I mean,
around.
I kind of feel like Star Wars and Harry Potter should go to B.
I feel at least Star Wars should go to B. Harry Potter's fine in C. I think that an argument could be made for enough of the Star Wars movies being good, the plot being good, regardless of what you think about what Kathleen Kennedy did. I think Star Wars can move to B. But
also, I think for Harry Potter, the only bad movie was for me, in my opinion, was Crimes of Grindelwald.
But George Lucas is in a turf, so.
What I was about to say is, only one of them can move into B.
Oh.
That is the thing. So, and Star Wars we'd already put Star Wars at the top of C, so by logic, that has to be the one that goes in there.
That's fair.
Which means B tier is locked, C tier is locked, D tier is locked. Got a lot more than 9.
Yeah, I think.
well, I was about to say, well, I'm going to
Which one?
add another row.
We know the 4 movies that are going to go into this next row. I mean, we really do.
What's the next row? Please get rid of forever.
Yeah, it's the J. Get rid of.
Yeah, those.
No, you can leave you can leave that Avatar franchise in G. We can go ahead and get rid of that.
Well, what I was
Okay.
about to say, I changed the letter on. I did the wrong one because that was supposed to be our non-rating anyway.
Yeah,
means
Twilight goes
blue.
down. Cars goes. No, actually, I think.
Sharknado, Alvin.
Definitely.
No, you can leave Cars in F, but I would
Leave
move
Cars in F.
Twilight, Narnia, and Ninja Turtles to G.
What I was about to say is these, at least one of these was going to go down to F anyway.
Okay.
So you want?
I would prefer Narnia over Cars, but that's just me. I like Cars, and Christina likes Cars, so. But that's just that.
I mean, regardless, they're both going to stay in
Oh, yeah,
F tier because there's no reason in moving them down.
Good.
So we're all happy.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like one thing I
Oh,
would
look.
swap, but that's it. Like I think the rest of it's pretty solid.
I'm just kind of bummed that the Saw franchise wasn't on here. It has like
there's
8
I
movies.
mean, there's a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
There's like, Lego franchise wasn't their Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
I
What
just
I
thought it
might,
was weird that they had like the Hangover franchise and there's only 3 movies.
I mean,
That's still a
there's a
franchise.
yeah. What I might do at some stage is I might make my own with a lot of franchises. I may maybe do a poll in Facebook and go suggest a franchise and I'll put it into this. But for now, this is what we've got with what we were given. In our S tier, we've got MCU, Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Back to the Future, and How to Train Your Dragon. In A tier, we've got Batman, Indiana Jones, Rocky, Pokemon, Spider-Man, and John Wick. Our B tier is Mission Impossible, Godfather, Kung Fu Panda, Ocean's 11, X-Men, Fast and Furious, Die Hard, Star Trek, and Star Wars. In C tier, we've got Bond, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, Planet of the Apes, Nightmare Before not Nightmare Before Christmas, that's a whole different movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien, Mummy, DCEU, Hunger Games. D tier is Matrix, Rambo, Friday the 13th, Underworld, Rush Hour, Shrek, Godzilla, Night at the Museum, and Jurassic Park. In E tier, we've got Nemo, Madagascar, Fockers, Men in Black, Transformers, Mad Max, Jason Bourne, Monsterverse, Hangover, and F tier is Terminator, Hobbit, Resident Evil, Ice Age, TMNT, Despicable Me, Cars, Narnia, and G tier is Sharknado, Alvin, and Twilight. And with just random things out there. But yeah, this was a fun experiment. If we would do something like this again, I'll figure out a way to make this go faster because this was almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
But Doug, where can people find you online?
Right now, nowhere. I'm playing trivia matches. Keep an eye out for them when they come out. I kind of went away for a little bit because I'm working on some stuff at home. So, other than that, I had fun.
Jay, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Jay Burns on Facebook. You can find me at Jay Burns253 on Twitter, and you can find me at bar_gang_Burns on Instagram. If that's not it, then it's bargang_Burns, which I think is actually correct, but I don't care because I don't use Instagram enough. You can also find me bullshitting with all of these people at some point in real life. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Doug, where can they find you on TikTok?
Doug Castle 6. Yeah, check out my TikToks, man. D&D.
That's
music,
2 S's, 1
action.
E, 2 L's.
Boom.
All right.
Anthony, where can people find you online?
Same thing. You'll see me around. Show up on Full Metal on occasion, classics with one of you two, hopefully soon. And Tony's channel on Feature Presentation. I'm on there a bit. And Spence's channel, Opening Night Trivia. I'm starting a new thing where it's you try to make a movie. I'll give you some genres. I'll give you some stuff. You come up with a plot. You come up with a cast, and then you battle the other person to see who comes up with the best movie pitch, and I will decide who winds up getting the green light. So that's going to start this Thursday with Christina and Spence starting it off. So I have 2 people that won't judge me too badly if I screw this up. So that's the plan. Something new coming up. I know a lot of you have your names in there, so you'll get your chances coming up soon. I already know who you're going to go against, Jay. I got a plan for you.
And
is it him?
Richard, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Facebook under Richard Schwartz, YouTube, Twitter, External Void, Twitch on External Void 1, and me staying home in LA because, it's quarantine, baby.
And you can find me on Full Metal and Take 3. I do various stuff over there, but I'm going to end the broadcast now.